Look at that, it worked, I think. We're live. Hello, listeners, viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. It is us, Dragon's Greed Gaming. We are back for the long-awaited return to Blade Runner, the role-playing game. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, the Great Unclean One. And as always, I will be your game runner for tonight as we delve back into the rain-soaked streets of Los Angeles 2037. Along for the ride, our entire cast from last time is here reprising their roles. We are diving into our second case file, which is called Fiery Angels. This follows the events from the first adventure that we did, like 2-3 years ago at this point. It's been a while.
2 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But so this follows up from Electric Dreams. So, spoiler, if you haven't played or listened to that yet, you might want to go do that before you start watching this. Because we are obviously going to be talking about what happened at the end of that. And we have all the same Blade Runners. They all survived, so we're going to see what they've been up to and how they're coping and what's happening next in their lives. This will be a couple episodes just like last time. I estimate about 4, maybe 5. We got a couple little extra things we put in here for some character development, but otherwise we are ready to go. So you know the drill. Check us out on all of our socials, Facebook, YouTube. Leave us reviews, leave us the 5 stars, follow us, and check us out over on Patreon if you want to get some exclusive rewards and help support the channel financially, which we appreciate. Enough of that. Let's talk to our players here, and then we will do a little bit of a recap. And then we were going to do some housekeeping stuff ahead of time. Unfortunately, it took me a little while to get all the cameras set up in OBS. I got multiple screens going right now, so you guys will get to listen to that as well. But just like last time, we're going to try to stick more to the story and less to the rules of the game. If you want to learn about the rules, go listen to our first episode where I break down how the mechanics of the game work. We'll still get some of that stuff because I know the guys are not fresh on the rules, so we'll probably have to do a little refresher. But for the most part, we're going to try to stay a little bit more immersed like we did last time. And after having listened to our first run through this game like 3 or 4 times now, I still think it's in the top 3, if not the best. So
Nice.
I still really enjoy it, really like it. Anyway, back with us is our group of 4 Blade Runners. You recognize all of them. They've all been here multiple times. But one face we have not seen in 2 years-ish since last time. We tried to do this last summer before we started Colonial Marine Campaign, but the schedules just did not work out, so we had to put it on the back burner. But we did try. But I would like to welcome back our good friend Tyler. One of the OGs from Gallows Geist is here to play.
Guys, I've been waiting those 2 years to be back in this seat, so I'm very thankful, and I'm very excited. As you know, I haven't shut up about it in the group chat for like the last month or so since Chris was like, all right, we're really doing it this time.
Yep.
Here's the date. We're going. So I'm so excited to be back.
I'm so excited to have you back too, man. It's going to be good. And who are you playing?
So I'm playing Detective Violet Lee, who is Doxy class, and she is a replicant.
Anything else you want to tell the listeners about Violet?
I enjoy playing her. So Violet is, kind of questioning, I think, leaving off from the last campaign, kind of questioning her beliefs and stuff after experiencing some of the atrocities that took place in the last campaign, as far as how replicants get, their surrogate memories and what the repercussions of those are, and her own kind of indoctrination in that. She has her own surrogate memories that are traumatic. I think the last case kind of left her questioning where she stands on a lot of morals, so I think that's something we'll see her exploring in this next campaign.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Can't wait to see what happens. Also joining us, everyone else. Well, you're starting to see Kyle again now that we're doing our, you're not seeing him yet, but we are starting to record our Warhammer Deathmatch we've been talking about for over a year. So probably in another year when we have everything edited, you'll get to actually listen to it and see our faces again. But it is happening. It's actually happening. So, Kyle, welcome back. Good to have you. How are you? And he's lagging.
And he's gone.
Oh boy, I'm lagging really bad.
Yeah, that is...
Yeah, I'm doing great. Hello.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, just my face?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm Kyle. I will be playing Silas Holbach again, human inspector. And yeah, super excited to be back doing this. Happy to see Tyler again, and happy to be starting to record these tournaments. So those fights are going to be so much fun.
The first episode was great. So we're doing a Warhammer Deathmatch probably over on our Patreon when we first release it. So if you want some more awesome Warhammer action, if you like Blood Bowl, you're gonna like this. Put it that way. So. But tell us about Silas, who I apologize. Like every other time I said your name, I said Silas when I realized, and it became like nails on a chalkboard to me. So I'm hoping that learning has occurred, and I will properly call you Silas. But tell us about Detective Holbach. Or not.
So we left off. It was just after that fight. Got hit in the shoulder. He's probably struggling with the idea of the whole replicant memory being tied with trauma, and watching that happen in front of him. So yeah, he would probably have take maybe a short leave of absence, kind of gather himself, go to the cemetery.
Maybe Holbach can actually finish his leave that he was starting when the case started and he got pulled off of.
Yeah.
Deputy Chief owes you that one. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll see how Silas reacts and how he leads the team in the upcoming case, being our veteran on the group. So, next up, we see him a lot here. He pops in every now and then. Frog has returned. How's it going?
Hello. That's going great. Happy to be here and resuming my role as Hector Bantov. I've made this joke before, his role as Fixer, and I have yet to live up to that name. So that is going to be fun. We were joking earlier about changing things up for this adventure and just spending a lot of time on the Esper wall and just like looking through street cameras and things like that, which might be good for me if I could just like wheel a hospital bed out there. Hector has been battered primarily physically, only a little bit mentally in the course of this series of investigations. So see how he bounces back from that.
Yeah, we'll get to all that because there's quite a few injuries last we left. So we'll talk about that in a moment here. Well, it's good to have you back. Always a pleasure to have the Frog on the stream. So welcome. And finally, Mr. Reliable himself. He's become a staple here on the show. Really, just always here, always dependable, and better.
Thank you.
Better than most, especially that Scar and that Matt guy. So, Sean, tell us about you and your character.
Yeah, I'm Sean, and I'm playing Garrick Johnson, who is a city speaker. So I guess empathy is his strongest stat. That's cool. He definitely went through some interesting experiences last time, and he's gonna hopefully come out better and stronger and not get aced by someone with a grudge.
Yeah, Garrick had an interesting journey last adventure, suffice to say, which listeners are privy to, but the rest of the team not so much. So we'll see how that all goes. So, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping before we dive in, because we weren't able to do this before, and then we will do a quick recap of what happened to get everybody up to speed, and then we will begin with what's going on here. So, let's see, where should we start? Let's start with... I have so many notes, as usual. Well, I guess perhaps we should start with a recap here to kind of set up what we're doing in the aftermath. So, last we left, about a month ago in game, the group of you were put on a case together to investigate a potential murder of a fellow replicant Blade Runner by the name of Sandor, and the disappearance of his partner, another N9 replicant Blade Runner by the name of Leah. There were mixed reports that he somehow had been shot by somebody at a nightclub called the Snake Pit. They were supposedly looking into replicant underground activity that was somehow connected to this bar, this nightclub. You guys were sent to deal with this. Your Deputy Chief Holden stressed the importance of this investigation, explaining that obviously any sort of bad press about the N9 replicants was something the Walls Corporation would absolutely not tolerate. Replicants have been brought back from Prohibition just over the last year in the game, as Neander Wallace has come onto the scene of LA as the head of the Walls Corporation and managed to convince the UN to repeal Prohibition of replicants, and has brought them back into the limelight with his newest model, the Nexus 9. As a way to show the public that the replicants are not to be feared and are truly obedient to their masters, quote-unquote, he has made an agreement with the LAPD, and they have begun using Nexus 9s as Blade Runners, something no one 20 years ago would have ever thought possible. And so far, it seems to be going well until this incident with Leah and Sandor. So the four of you were told to go speak with the Walls Corporation and to basically keep them informed of the investigation and to get to the bottom of it as quickly as you could before things got out of hand. So ultimately, what happened, spoilers if you haven't listened to the first adventure, Leah went rogue. It turned out she was the one that had murdered her partner Sandor at the club, and then went seeking out the replicant underground to try to escape off-world. Clues uncovered during the investigation pointed to Leia's implanted memories being the reason for her mental breakdown. You learned her memories were designed by a woman known as Dr. Lilith Tyrell, the niece and heir of Eldon Tyrell, the CEO of the Tyrell Corporation, who originally created replicants way back in the day. Ever since the events of the first Blade Runner film, the Tyrell Corporation had financial problems. After Eldon Tyrell was murdered, his niece Lilith took over. And although she was able to spearhead the release of 2 more series of Nexus models, the 7s and the 8s, ultimately it was not enough for the Tyrell Corporation to avoid bankruptcy, and they ended up selling off all of their assets, and she disappeared out of the public eye. It was during this time that the Wallace Corporation was able to buy up most of their products, most of their property and assets, most importantly, all their patents and rights to all their replicant technology. Once the N9s were released, Lilith Tyrell seemed to have reappeared in the public eye, coming back to Los Angeles, working as a contractor for the Walls Corporation as a memory designer. You learned that her philosophy of memory design was what she referred to as control through trauma. The idea being that replicants were given a seriously traumatic memory, which was meant to basically activate or play through their mind anytime the replicant had even the slightest thought or notion of deviating from their programming. What you guys discovered in Leah's case seems to have had the opposite effect and drove her to become deviant and rogue. So, you found that Leah sought out the replicant underground through two individuals, a man by the name of Styles, who you suspect is a replicant, and you also suspect through a man by the name of the Aurelian, a shop owner on Animoid Row who designs animoid butterflies. They had agreed to get her off-world and help her escape. During the investigation, Hector was captured by Styles and some of his thugs. During that time, he heard the two of them, the Aurelian and Styles, discussing helping Lilith get off-world. When you guys eventually rescued Hector, the Aurelian was long gone, and Styles had escaped just moments before. Although the team does not know this, us and the listeners saw that Hector let him escape. Kind of coming to a somewhat of an understanding. As it turned out, Styles wasn't really down to just kill a cop. He was just trying to keep you guys out of the investigation until Leah got away. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on the way you look at it, before departing Earth, Leah decided to confront Lilith Tyrell at her memory lab, whom you'd questioned previously, and Silas had a chance to actually experience Leia's memory, her traumatic memory. Unfortunately, Silas and Violet arrived moments too late, as they had gotten to the memory lab just moments after Leah had arrived, and they were greeted by the sound of a gunshot as she shot Dr. Tyrell in the head. It was at this point that a firefight ensued, and despite Silas doing his best to talk Leah down, she refused and forced you guys to open fire back. Violet reacting instantly and managing to put her down. And at that point, your other two detectives, Garrick and Hector, arrived. You guys tried to, I believe it was Hector, tried to administer first aid, tried to stabilize her, and although he did, she had suffered a traumatic injury to the head. And as you guys were about to leave, Lilith's daughter, Sarah, walked into the room, seeing the dead body of her mother, and then the building was rocked by explosions. At this point, all hell broke loose as a squad of commandos or mercenaries of some sort attacked the memory lab and began opening fire on the team. The team did not really see much other than Garrick grabbing Sarah and trying to get to the exit of the building. What we saw as our viewers and listeners is that Garrick was able to pass these commandos, who he did not recognize, did not know who they were, but they did allow him to pass. He tried to give Sarah over to them, thinking that that the Walls Corporation would want her, and they just told him to buzz off and stay out of their way. While Garrick secured Sarah in his spinner, the rest of the team was in a life-or-death situation against these four mercenaries. Everybody else took injuries during this fight, although Silas did manage to score a headshot and down one of the commandos, injured another one who retreated, and by that point, with only two of them remaining, they fell back, and just as they were escaping, Garrick then decided to turn his gun on them, shooting them from behind and acing one in the back of the head, leaving two of them dead, as the other two hopped in the spinner that they had arrived in, a black unmarked spinner, took off into the darkness. Silas chased them outside to see this, didn't see the whole thing unfold, but it's very clear that Garrick killed one of them, Garrick was wounded as well, though he did not suffer a critical injury. And Sarah was alive. That is basically what happened during the previous case. A few things that kind of happened after that we saw. It was determined that the two commandos that you had killed were identified as N9 replicants. Unfortunately, there's not much other information, but we're going to get to that. And then while Violet and Hector were in the hospital for they each had 2 critical injuries, I believe. Silas and Garrick gave their final report in person to the chief, and then eventually everybody else gave in their reports as well. And that is where we ended Electric Dreams. Leia and Sander both dead. Dr. Tyrell dead as well. And it seems case closed. However, we all know that's not where it truly ends. And that is where we're going to pick up here. So, in the immediate aftermath of... Oh, I guess before I go on, do any of the players have any questions about any of that? Wonderful. Okay. Hold on, we got a person here. I got a ban out of the old thing here. Goodbye, philosophic laboratory. We hardly knew thee.
Don't want to know.
Yeah. Although Gorski99, if that's not one of you 4 in this call right now, thank you for joining us.
Let me know.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Gorski.
Thank you, Gorski, for joining us. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. So, in the immediate aftermath, I realized we had done the critical injuries slightly wrong, which we need to... That's going to be the first thing we need to do. So, in this game, when you suffer a critical injury, there's 2 things that have to happen. One is that you have to obviously be stabilized. If you're at 0 health, you're broken. You need to be stabilized so you can actually do stuff. And if it's a lethal critical injury, someone needs to stabilize you before you fail a death saving throw. And if you fail one of those, you die. We did that part right. You guys had all taken care of the lethal injuries. I think the worst one was Frog had a bleeding gut, which was lethal. I think everybody else's injuries were not lethal, although they were pretty bad. So that was fine. We did that. You are stabilized. You don't die from your injury. However, after that, your injury will have a time limit, and that is the time limit that it takes for it to heal. So it might be a week, a month, a shift, whatever. You have to get a second healing roll during that time, and if that healing roll fails, the injury is permanent. Yeah. Pretty rough.
What the fuck?
Now, the good news is, I'm a merciful God, and you guys have a little bit of a bonus here. You don't have to pay for these medical expenses yourself, and you guys get relatively high-tier medical care, being Blade Runners. Obviously, being wounded in the line of duty. Hector, in particular, would have been rushed to the hospital immediately, and the rest of you would have went there as well. So, there are different types of medical aid you can get if you're paying for it yourself, like going to a hospital or a vendor or whatever it may be. You guys don't have to worry about that. This is normally a 6 Chinyen cost thing. We're counting this using the rules of emergency medical procedure, which is a medical aid roll, which is rolled with an attribute and a skill level of A, so that's 2d10, and it has advantage. So you guys are getting pretty top-tier treatment here. So we're going to roll for those injuries right now, because if not, you guys are kind of SOL. So...
Are they both at rating A?
Yes.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
the best it can be, right?
I mean, unless you get something crazy, but as far as like just basic stuff you can get out of the rule book, this is as good as it goes.
Yeah,
But
oh, shoot.
a couple other things I learned, too, about the rules, which we'll get into, that might have helped a little bit here. So, but we'll deal with that when we deal with it. So, with that in mind, we're going to start with, I think, Hector, because he's the most grievously injured. You have 2 critical injuries, correct? Bleeding gut and broken fingers.
That looks right to me.
All right. Do you want to make the roll, or do you want me to make the roll? Okay, which one do you want to roll for first?
Let's try the broken hand, because that was older.
Okay. It is 2d10, but it is advantage. So remember, in this game, when you have advantage, you get to roll a extra of your lowest dice, which in this case is d10. So you roll 3d10. You only need 1 success. So if you remain injured, it's your fault. Please. There we go. 2 successes. Right? 1 success. No, 2. Yep. There you go. 6 plus. Okay. You can remove the broken fingers from your character sheet. Please roll for the bleeding gut, which I think is a little bit worse than the bleeding or the broken hand.
A little bit. I feel like they would have fixed the bleeding gut first.
Yeah, they probably would have, but... Oh! Okay. Got the 1. All right. Your injuries are cured. Next up, also at the hospital, Violet, you had 2 injuries. Same thing, 3d10 with advantage. Which one do you want to roll for first?
How do I click advantage on here?
Just roll 3d10 at the bottom
Okay.
of the screen.
Sorry, what do I have on me here?
I think you had a shoulder hit and
Yeah.
something else.
I mean, okay. I remember getting shot in the shoulder.
Oh, you have a shoulder hit and impaled hand.
Oh, yes, the impaled hand was first. All right, let's do the shoulder. Here's 3d10.
Okay. All right, hold on. I don't think it's showing up on our screen here. What is that? Oh, there we go. Sorry, folks. I had that messed up. Okay. 2 successes. That's cured.
Okay. And then the impaled hand.
All right.
1.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Your injuries are cured, treated. Lastly, Silas, also with a shoulder hit. Okay. So, at least you guys get good medical treatment being on the force. Go through some surgeries, perhaps, some emergency procedures, but you are all fine. So, and Garrick, you did not have any injuries, correct?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Well, it'll be on your character sheet. I haven't messed with them since, so.
Where would it be?
It's on the... I believe it shows up on the combat tab.
Yeah, I don't have any injuries now.
Yeah. So, okay. Frog, you can get rid of those broken fingers.
Thought I did.
It's still showing up on yours.
My injuries tree appears to be on me.
Oh,
It's-
on mine.
Have the token.
No.
Oh, I took it off the token.
I was going to say that's probably it. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's that. And my notes just, of course, closed. Of course. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do is kind of what's happened in between the end of that case and the beginning of this case. So, listeners, I had sent several questions to all of the players, and then several questions to each individual player about their individual character as to some of the things they were going to do as far as following up on loose ends and leads and things like that. Everybody has sent me their information except Sean, because he's not reliable. That's okay. You told me about it last night.
We discussed it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, I wasn't taking notes at 2 a.m, okay? So...
like 9 p.m. Okay.
Whatever. I was up till 2 a.m. So anyway...
It's a youthful.
I know. But that's fine, because you guys are going to explain it anyway, and we're going to do a little role play here. So, the first thing is what to do with Sarah Tyrell. She is now an orphan. Her mother is dead, and after everything happens and goes through, you guys find out she does not have any living family, and she is most likely going to end up in foster care. So, I asked the group what they wanted to do about this. If everybody just wants to go around the table really quick and kind of tell the listeners what you were thinking. We'll start with Kyle.
Well, Kyle the person thought that it would probably be a better role-playing choice for one of us to take care of the kid. So I literally just answered Chris's question in the email with, I don't know, man, roll a d4. But yeah, Silas would probably feel for the kid, but not exactly have the paternal instinct to take her in.
You know, I can't say I blame him. I mean, you know, we
well-known Chris's feeling on children.
Yeah, we can share her artwork for everybody, you know, so maybe we can pull a little heartstrings here, you know. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me, but it might do it for you. So yeah.
I think that resolves Silas further. Just kidding. But,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got his hands full with his sister, so.
Yep. All right, Hector.
Well, Hector has never met this child nor her mother. I was spending my time kidnapped and tied to a chair while everybody was having their pleasant introduction to these folks. So he was gonna just sit out and be like, I'm not involved in this at all.
That's fair. Garrick?
Replicant answer.
Yeah.
He would definitely want her to be, like, protected in some way from Wallace Corp. He's not sure how that would look, but he doesn't get a good feeling about Wallace Corp getting a hold of her.
Okay. And finally, Violet.
So I said that I thought it made more sense for Violet maybe to put their name in the hat to adopting her, because she has sort of the most stable home situation out of the 4 of them, which maybe isn't saying much, but you know, she does have Sully, who's retired and he's at home all day. There's someone to take care of her, and you know, I think there's a connection. I think she feels sympathetic to the case and what happened, and I thought maybe Violet was the best choice.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
I think that's interesting, and basically what is going to happen here is it's going to depend on basically one thing, which we'll get to momentarily, but our 2 replicants, as standard procedure, and considering all the shit that they went through, are going to be required to take baseline tests after the previous investigation. And as one might expect, your results of that baseline test are probably going to heavily influence whether or not they let you try to adopt this child. So we will come back to that when we do your baseline test. So no pressure. No pressure. Kids' future's in your hands, that's all.
Right. We handled the previous investigation so well. Child raising couldn't be any harder.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. Now, second thing. These 2 kind of go together, is what you guys would do with concerning Styles and the Aurelian. So we'll start with Styles, one of the bigger parts of the case. You suspect that he is a fugitive replicant due to some of his impressive physical feats that you were witness to during the investigation. You're also fairly confident he's working with the replicant underground, as Hector explained that he was helping discuss Leia escape off-world while Hector was captured, and he was discussing this with the Aurelian. So my question is, what does each of you do? Do you try to track him down, arrest him, retire him, learn more about him? Do you not care? Do you not follow up? And if you do try to do anything, what do you try and how do you try? So we'll keep the same order here. Kyle is our lead detective.
Silas would definitely want to follow up, and would think Silas would want to put plain clothes on stakeouts in the usual spots that we found Styles, as well as, try and question anybody else on the team about their thoughts, especially Hector.
Okay. Hector?
Yeah, I think Hector was also thinking to keep tabs on him. I think with
Sorry
all
guys,
the...
give me 1 second.
Yeah, do your thing.
I think with all of the bloodshed and disappearances and possible betrayal within the force here, he would like to potentially keep a possible connection with him as a plan B if things continue to go even more south than they have done so far. I think part of that is his work previously with his mentor, who also disappeared from the force under mysterious circumstances. It's maybe the underground has some, honor code compared to the Blade Runners and the people at the top here, are just as difficult to trust, if not more so.
All right.
But didn't have a good, in to kind of reach out, so I think he was gonna lurk and just try to get more information on him and see if there's a good opening.
All right. Sounds good. I just shared Styles' artwork with you guys, our very tall, bald friend. Garrick, what's his thoughts on this?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna start trying to find information, looking into him and the replicant underground, any connections, building a case board at his house or his apartment, like Charlie Day, Sunny.
Amazing.
Yeah, just red strings everywhere.
Okay. All right. And Violet, what are your thoughts?
I think Violet kind of felt in leaving well enough alone in this case. If he surfaced again, maybe pursue him, but was kind of ready to just let this be as it was.
Okay.
For the time being.
Garrick and Silas, do you let your two teammates here know that you are looking into him in any way?
Yeah.
Or is it something you kind of do on your own?
I'd let them know.
Okay. I think Kyle's still away from the mic, so... well, you guys would know at least Garrick would be looking into him with the potential to maybe arrest him. So would Hector and Violet, how would they react to that, or what would they do in response?
I guess it's tough to say. If you're
Murder Garrick.
And I will say at this point, there's a month of time going by, and especially for Hector, he's probably in the hospital for at least a couple days. Probably Violet I would imagine, maybe even longer. And after this case, you guys aren't necessarily working on the same cases. You guys go back to your individual cases or get paired up with other Blade Runners. It's not all the time that you guys get put on a big team like this, usually for something really important. So you guys might not necessarily even see each other much around the station, considering how busy LA is, how big it is, and how big the tower is, you guys might go like days without ever walking into each other. So, but we'll assume for the sake of this, you guys hear about it, or he shares that information with you. So,
Yeah, Violet gives you a thumbs up from her sling in the hospital bed. Like, all right, Chief.
Okay. Thanks,
All right.
Omi.
Knock him dead.
Probably not.
Hector, do you try to help them at all, or do you do anything on your own?
I guess I would be trying to scoop up information on my own.
Okay.
I want to like directly interfere with what Garrick is looking into, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, first of all, you can all put your health and resolve back to full, obviously. By the time we get into this, you guys will have time to have rest. You've been treated at the hospital, things like that. So, and Garrick just went insane. Oops. Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to test see what would happen.
Yep. Shattered instantly. Okay, well then, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our first roll of, I guess this is officially Season 2. Our first Season 2 ever. How about that?
And
Why don't you each, Silas, Garrick, and Hector, since you're actively trying to get more information on Styles or track him down, I would say give me there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go about it connections, trying to use word on the street, things you've learned during the investigation, places, things like that, using your connections, try to track him down. Or we can do insight or observation. I think observation would be more like what Kyle was thinking, maybe setting up stakeouts, places where you've seen him or he goes. And insight, just your overall detectiveness, putting clues together. I think it makes most sense for Garrick. So Garrick, why don't you make an insight? Hector, you can do insight or connections, your choice. And Silas, why don't you do observation? I'm going to say whoever has the most successes is able to track him down first. All right, so Garrick's got a success and a unicorn. Oh, same thing from Garrick. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, Hector's roll 2, it looks like.
Okay, the other one showed up. All right. Hector has 2. Silas has 2. But Silas, you've got a unicorn there, so I'm going to count that against you in this case, unless either of you want to push. Well, if anybody wants to push, they can.
I wouldn't be able to
Does
reroll
that get rid of the
unicorn,
unicorn?
right?
So if you push,
Yeah.
any ones that are there, any unicorns remain. That'll make you take damage. In this case, it'll be resolve damage. But it'll reroll. You can reroll any of the dice that are not a 1, including dice that already have a success on them.
Well, Kyle has the maximum success that he can get looking at the unicorn.
Yeah, so I'm good.
And I could go higher, or I could just take 2 damage.
You could.
Yeah.
Hector,
You
do
know,
you...
what? First roll, I'll push.
Oh, okay.
Select dice to push. Oh, okay. It doesn't want to do that.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Wah, wah.
So your original D10, one of them was a unicorn that doesn't get rerolled, and then the other one that had.
Ace
Oh, that's Silas I'm looking at. Let's go back here, folks. Why is it not? Okay, I see. So you take 1 point of resolve damage, and I discovered in my reading of the rules again, when you take resolve damage, that is referred to as stress. When you take health damage, that's referred to as damage.
Cool.
Sometimes Free League lets it fall through the cracks a little bit here. But, yeah, so stress is resolve damage. So, unfortunately, that doesn't really help you much, Garrick. So, Hector, you are the first of the group to eventually track down Styles. And we don't have to do like a full scene here. You can just kind of tell me what would you do once you do track him down.
I think he would probably try to awkwardly open up with jokes about good times had in the apartment and talking about our tussles together. But actually, I wanted to maybe ask about if he's had any run-ins with the or the bagmen that showed up at the last one, and kind of thought I might be able to connect with them that way to be like, we were trying to get Leah out, or at least I was trying to get Leah out, and then they arrived and really tore up the place. Just filled everybody with bullets. And if you have any more information, the best we could find is that they were some kind of like off the grid Nexus 9. But I think that's all.
Okay. So his initial reaction is positive. He is friendly towards you. He seems to have a non-confrontational demeanor. He does laugh at the joke of you guys, beating the shit out of each other a couple times. He doesn't seem surprised that you found him. And he tells you, basically, you find out he doesn't have any idea who these commandos were. He probably doesn't know the full story of what happened in the memory lab. Do you tell him what happened?
I think I keep it pretty vague outside of what the commandos were doing. I also didn't, I guess, see all of them that much more than the aftermath after they had turned up. But I think I can leave him to connect the dots of why, he knows why Lee went out there. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to get into that too much detail.
Okay. He seems to believe you, especially when you say that you were trying to help her. And he's obviously, you can tell he's sad that, she's dead and she didn't make it out. He kind of explains how they were expecting her to be at the rendezvous point to get off world, but he knew when she didn't show up that she definitely wasn't showing up ever. And you can tell that that probably affects him in some way. But he's cordial, he's friendly. You guys, have a couple laughs over everything. And, he seems open to, continuing some sort of, professional relationship as much as a quote-unquote criminal and a cop can have. So, if you like, you can add Styles as an asset to your character sheet. Basically meaning he is one of the people. Assets are basically people that you have connections with in the game that you can turn to try to find out stuff about what's going on the street or whatever their specialty may be. You know that he's part of the Replicant Underground, so having this connection could be really helpful in the future. And he seems to trust the fact that even though you're a cop and a Blade Runner, you prove to him, at least temporarily, that you were trying to do the right thing and you're not necessarily one of the bad guys. And you can tell that he appreciates the fact that you guys had that talk, you stopped fighting each other, and you just listened. He also does ask you about your missing mentor, Mr. Pavel. If you found him in anything. Obviously shows a little bit of concern about that as well. So, now, do you warn Styles at all that the others are trying to track him down?
Yeah, I think now that we've met, and I can tell him off the record, I would tip him off and be like, and also, gang is also looking for you, and I think probably more with the intent to bring you in for official questioning.
He thanks you for the heads up, and basically says, like, if you need to find me, you can find me. And unfortunately, Silas and Garrick, you start tracking him down. You get hints of where he might be. There's maybe even some sightings, but it always seems like he's one step ahead of you guys. And even if you guys do get to the point where maybe one of your patrols spots him and goes after him, he's out of there like Usain Bolt. He's just so fast. So he remains at large. You're unable to capture him. Next thing, very similar question regarding the Aurelian. Do you follow up on him in any way? You're unsure if he's a replicant or not, or just a replicant sympathizer, but Hector claimed to have heard him speaking with Styles about Leia when he was captured. And when you rescued Hector, he told the group the Aurelian was there, but then kind of backtracked and said, well, I didn't actually see him because I was blindfolded, but I heard him and I'm pretty sure it was him. Based on the conversation, what Hector explains to you guys, it's obvious that the Aurelian and Styles were both trying to help Leia get off-world, but they seem to be unaware of her plan to attack Lilith Tyrell at the memory lab. So the same question to each of you. Do you follow up on the Aurelian in any way? And if so, what do you do? Starting with Holbach.
Silas would definitely want to go back to question further. Maybe not so much about Leah as more about Styles and more about their connection to the underground.
Okay. Hector?
I think Hector would kind of just keep tabs on him to see if anything comes up involving him, but not reaching out directly.
Okay. Garrick?
He's never even been to Animoid Row, so he would at least go in kind of like plainclothes, observe the area a couple times, try to be inconspicuous, just watch, see if anything unusual happens.
All right. And Violet?
I don't know if Violet's gonna follow up on either of those. Like the Aurelian, I again kind of had the same ideas. Styles kind of just letting it be. If they pop up again in another case, they'll get back on it. But kind of left it alone.
Okay. Sean, why don't you give me a... You're trying to sneak around. Why don't you give me a stealth roll? And Holbach, you said you're going there to actually question him and talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a very casual,
All right. Give me a manipulation roll. And Hector, you don't actually have to make a roll because of your connection with Styles, and you're just kind of keeping tabs on him. Okay, Garrick with 2 successes. And Silas with 1. Okay. So, Silas, he answers your questions. It's still kind of that same persona you got of an aging man who's blind. He's vague in some regards. You don't get a ton of information. He doesn't really spill the beans on anything like, any specifics. He definitely tries to kind of play dumb here. And, if you just ask him some questions and don't really do anything else, he doesn't really budge much on that.
I think as like sort of a last throw, he'd kind of give the Aurelian a look, knowing that he's playing dumb and he's aware, and then as he leaves would turn and say, I know why they're leaving. I know why they're all scared. I know why they want freedom. I've been there, I've seen it. I was at the memory lab. So, maybe stop thinking about me coming and questioning you as an officer trying to retire people, and maybe as someone trying to help.
So, you do get the feeling that maybe he's a little bit more receptive after you say that. You only had one success there. I was looking for more. But that's better than nothing. So, he, maybe there's something there. He's not hostile or anything. He doesn't just tell you to get the hell out or anything like that. So, maybe it's a start. Hector, you can track him down, no problem. Easy to find. You would know that every now and then Styles goes there. Not as often as it seemed like when he was helping Leah. So maybe they don't have anybody they're currently helping. Maybe just kind of checking in every once in a while. But when he does, it seems like it's typically pretty short visits. So, and during that time, you don't see or hear anything about any new supposed replicants, like trying to get out, or fugitive replicants or anything like that. Garrick, you had 2 successes. So you can tell that the Aurelian keeps a pretty regular schedule. His store is open during fairly regular hours. He has he doesn't live there. He has a small apartment that he lives nearby. So, he walks to and from every day. It's not very far, but still for a blind guy, it's, kind of a trek. He does get a good amount of foot traffic. His stores seem to be one of the more popular ones. He's got one of the more unique groups of animoids, and because of the way he designs it and the fact that he's blind and working off of memory, he's got some of the most unique stuff there on Animoid Row. You would probably either see or catch word through talking to some of the street vendors and some of the food kiosks that someone matching Styles' description definitely comes by every once in a while, but you don't ever actually see him in person. Or if you do, it's like a glimpse, and by the time you catch up to him, he's gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to chase him down.
Okay.
Not by myself.
Yeah.
He's like a combat replicant. No, sir.
You don't know that.
Because my work, we do know. Well, the people he's based off or whatever. I went to Quell and was like, hey.
No. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I will worry about it. I'm not gonna get my jaw punched off.
Well, it's just a few broken fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But can I pinpoint where the Aurelian's residence is?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would make a note of where it is in case we need to question him.
Yeah.
After hours.
He's blind, so he can't really tell that you're following him, and
right.
He moves slow, and he takes the same path every time. So, and he's not too far, so it's easy to do.
Yeah. Cool.
So, no problem. Okay. Hector, if you would like to make any sort of contact with the Aurelian, I will allow you to make a test to see if you can add him as an asset as well. So you didn't really have a whole lot of... you did interview him, but that was before you were captured. So you haven't had the heart-to-heart like you have with Styles. But if that's something your character's interested in, he would have time to do that during this month in between cases.
Okay.
I would say you can make a connections roll, and if you pass, we'll say maybe Styles introduces you officially, or you introduce yourself to him, and he's heard about you through Styles, something like that.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say, but I guess if we do a quick introduction, I think maybe I feel bad about what happened, and maybe we can help each other out in the future, kind of thing. Would be in order, but mostly, yeah, off of that. So yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Supposed to be good at that, ostensibly.
Do you want to push?
Why is it?
I don't know. I'm wondering that myself. That's weird.
Yeah, because like my stuff's at the bottom.
Yeah, I just deleted them. Let's see if that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Push. See if we can
Weird.
jump up
Oh, there.
to 2.
There we go.
Okay, now it's working.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good push. 2 successes. You may add him as an asset as well. You might not have as developed a relationship with him as you do with Styles, but he seems trusting, and basically Styles puts in the word, we can trust him. He's not like the others. And knowing that you're a replicant, obviously he trusts you more. So, congratulations. Well done. All right. A couple more things to get through here. Next, the Mercenary Squad. Do you do anything to investigate the mercenaries that attacked your team at the Memory Lab? 2 were killed during the fight. After an examination by Coco and his team, that's the chief medical examiner, it is determined they are N9 replicants, but they have no records of any sort. It is as if they do not exist. And basically everybody told me they wanted to look into these guys to some capacity. So, again, we'll go through the list here. Tell me what you want to do, how deep you want to dive, how you're investigating them, and we will go from there. Holbach.
Yeah, absolutely. We're finding these fucking jerks. I think one of the avenues I suggested was to work with the corporation to see if they could dig deeper.
Okay.
Besides that, just the usual, exhaust all possibilities.
Okay.
Within the police force.
So, don't make your roll yet. I'll tell you what to roll so I don't have to remember after I talk to everybody else. You can either do connections or manipulation. Both of these are going to involve getting in touch with Walsh Corporation, which most likely means talking to NPC of the year, Quell. Yeah, whenever you guys have to deal with them, it seems she's the one that they put you on the phone with, or she's the one that signs off on the paperwork. So you will do one of those two.
Do you not take breaks, lady? God
Oh,
damn.
she's a replicant, of course not.
Oh, I don't think we knew she was a replicant.
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious she's a replicant.
Sorry, you said connections or manipulation for me?
Yes.
I didn't know, for the record.
Okay.
I was not aware.
Hector.
Is that why she hates me?
Or maybe it's all a ruse.
Might be.
Pretty good ruse, Chris.
I'll have to see if you do the android voice with Quell this time.
I kind of did the last time, didn't I?
Yeah, how about she takes a baseline test first?
Hector, how would you look into the mercs?
I don't think I want to deal directly with the Wallace Corporation. So I think kind of just be trying to follow up on other sightings or leads throughout kind of the normal LAPD resources. That's it.
Okay. You can do, I suppose, insight or connections. Violet?
Sorry, I said kind of the same thing. I was weary of digging too deep into it, knowing how it's probably connected. Though I said I was tertiarily kind of doing research. but not going full steam ahead because I did not want to get the Wallace Corporation's FBI agents on my tail. They probably already are, but...
Okay. And Garrick?
So, could we use the Esper wall, since I wasn't, like, super injured? Could I use the Esper wall, like, pretty quickly after and try to track their spinner to, like, see where it went?
Give me a... So you can do tech. Everybody can make their rolls now. You can do tech for that. I won't make you spend a promotion point.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
Damn.
Whoa!
Hector Bantov.
What a boss. Oh, wow.
Crushing it.
Wow. Like 10 dice rolled and only a single digit. Everything else was successes. Holy cow, you guys are real good at this game. All right. So, Garrick, you do see them appear. Unfortunately, the area that the memory lab is in is not a super heavily dense populated area. It's kind of like at the end of a block sort of thing. There's not a whole lot around it. There's a camera there by the memory lab, so you see the spinner land and then come out and then eventually the spinner take off. But once it's in the air, it's gone. I mean, this is all at nighttime, plus the thing is black. It has no markings. The only thing you can tell is, you guys already knew this, but you can see it for yourself. It has the little rocket launcher thing on top, and that's what they used to blow open the front of the memory lab, and they killed Terry, the clerk that was up front. Yeah, he obviously he was still in there, and they eventually dig him out of the wreckage, but he did not make it.
Rip Terry.
Bye-bye, Terry.
Okay. I don't even know what everybody else rolled here because it's showing Violet rolled for some reason. Silas, you got one success. So you get to speak with Quell, and it's about as awesome of a conversation as all the others are. She basically is kind of like, why do you think I would know anything about these mercenaries? And if you even so much as insinuate that they have anything to do with the Wallace Corporation, she just kind of laughs in your face. And if you keep pressing, she would probably say something, somewhat threatening, like, are you really sure you want to keep poking your head around like this? These guys already got the drop on you guys once.
Silas kind of puts his hands up. He would have his hat off and in his hand, and he would put his hands up and show it, surrender, kind of chuckle and be like, look, I'm only here for expert opinion. Okay, that's all. You deal with replicants. This was replicant mercenaries. This is all I want to know. What do you know about them? What kind are they? What, anything. I'm not implying any blame.
She doesn't really give you much other information other than what you guys already know. She just confirms, it's in the reports. They're N9s, most likely combat models. Unregistered. Troubling, but not surprising. Everyone's trying to get their fingers in Wallace's pie.
I think Silas would sigh and nod and kind of walk a little backwards and see himself out.
And she does end the conversation with, but if you do find out, please let me know.
He nods again and opens the door to her office.
Okay. And Violet, since you're just kind of you maybe look into it a little bit, you don't even make a roll, you don't find anything.
I thought you wanted me to roll for it, but you can
No, that's
throw
okay.
that out if it's not counting.
Yeah, we'll say if you do look into it to the point where you start to make some progress, you start to realize that maybe I don't want to dig too far into this. Maybe an unmarked envelope shows up on your desk. Stop snooping around, something like that. You get the feeling somebody's watching you, or someone's tracking your browser history, whatever it may be. So,
Chris, the case is gonna end when I have my blaster up against Quell's temple. Then I'll feel good about it.
wow,
Another N9 replicant gone crazy with a murder.
Yeah,
That
you're
makes
just
you
yeah,
after
you're just
that, yeah.
you're just
I'll be
proving
happy.
you're just proving their points.
Oddly
Yeah.
enough, the baseline test was perfectly accurate. Just hated Quell.
She was insane. Okay. All right. Next question.
Hector got 3 successes with his connection.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he? I can't tell who rolled what here.
Oh yeah, he got 3 big ones.
All right. And I'm sorry, Hector. How were you looking into this again? You said you weren't going to Walls Corporation. So what do you?
Yeah, I think he was planning to just use LAPD resources to see if he could dig up anything on that model, if they appear in any other cases, or just kind of searching through the internal resources.
So they don't appear in any other cases. You don't find any other information than what you guys already know. Maybe conferring with Coco, you can definitely tell they are specifically designed as combat roles, like top of the line, obviously. They're not. They can't be that old because N9's only been around for about a year or so, and there is the possibility they could be bootlegs or black market. That's not unheard of, and you have heard of a couple bootleg cases over the last year, even before the N9s came out. There's always been people trying to use illegal technology or stolen technology to make their own versions. Just like with 3D printing, right? Like there's some good ones and there's some real shitty imposters. But if these are bootleg, they are very, very well done. It takes them a lot to even figure out that these guys are replicants. But there is no record that you can find anywhere, which would lead you to believe it might be pre-blackout, but N9s were not around during then, so that seems unlikely. To your feeling and your best guess and investigation is that they're either black market or some sort of clandestine, some private military or someone with a lot of money and resources have these guys in their own little personal payroll. So it could be a corporation, it could be a private party. There's so much seediness and underbelly and underground. You're not able to find anything, though, that really links to these directly.
Okay.
All right. The next question I asked 3 of the players, and one of the players, Garrick, I asked him a different question.
Oh boy.
So this is Garrick's actions during the shootout. As the listeners saw, were a little suspicious, but to the Blade Runners, maybe not. So Garrick disappeared when the fight with the mercenaries broke out. He was first in the initiative, so he got to go first. You all saw him grab Sarah and head towards the entrance, which is where the explosion that rocked the building seemed to be coming from. He did not assist you guys at all during the rest of the fight. You didn't see him. When the fight was over, Violet and Hector were down. They were broken. Silas chased the last merc outside, and when you did, you found Garrick wounded, with Sarah secure in his police spinner. One of the mercs was dead, shot through the back of the head at some distance, and as you made it out, you maybe just caught the very last glimpse of their unmarked spinner heading off into the night sky. So my question to everybody other than Garrick was, do you guys suspect anything weird here? And if so, do you bring anything up to him or do you say anything to him about it? We'll start with Holbach.
Obviously, there would be some because Silas managed to get outside, would put kind of 2 and 2 together with the spinner leaving. One guy obviously shot in the back of the head, so that would be a indicator for Silas to wonder how exactly Garrick got himself in this situation, and yeah, how did he know them? Is he working with them? He wouldn't be. Silas wouldn't be violent or like aggressive in a negative way, but he would be pressing.
Okay. When would you confront him about this?
I think I would try and get him after he, because I'm assuming we're all going to be debriefed by the chief, right?
Yes.
So I would probably wait until after his talk with the chief and kind of corner him after that.
Okay. All right. Violet, how about you? I know
So
your perspective was a little different.
It was a little different. In the midst of the chaos, like Violet kind of saw it as like, well, Garrick maybe came across Sarah, got her out, and if he shot one of the guys, that was kind of credence to him maybe defending Sarah, and maybe that was his motive, was just like, all right, there's a kid here, I'm going to get the kid out, and Violet, I don't think, thought too much further than that.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, he was wounded, so it's, you know, if you really looked into it, you'd find out, like, he didn't shoot himself, like, he was shot by one of their assault rifles, so...
Right. And kind of in that police situation, it's like, here is an innocent hostage. It's, you know, a priority to get this child out of the line of fire, and the other guys kind of have to fend for themselves for a minute. So that's kind of how Violet looked at it.
Okay. Totally fair. And Hector, how about you? I know your answer was like, yeah, we got to talk about it.
Yeah, I think I would probably want to do a little bit of prep work before that. I figured I could have a quick sidebar with Violet while we were in the hospital, and just sort of like, I would admit, it's like, I was beaten fairly severely that day, so I want a second opinion to see if I have my head on straight. Did Garrick kind of walk past the... Like, he grabbed Sarah and ran out.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? I don't understand. That's a big question.
Well, I was busy shooting at Leah, so... And then consequently being shot at. And things were a little hazy in the following moments when the mercenaries came in and tried to kill us, so... I mean... Are you asking me if he did something wrong? I mean, he took the innocent out of the line of fire. She was a child, so.
Yeah, I guess whilst I was sleeping, I had a vision of like, what if it's even crazier than that? Like, is Garrick wild enough to like use a child as a human shield to get past a bunch of mercenaries and leave us in the lurch? Like, it does sound insane.
Well, I've seen some insane things in this world, so I can't count anything, but I mean, he presumably shot one of the other mercenaries.
You guys would know, like, it is confirmed.
We know, yeah, we know he did. It's his blaster and his, so.
I actually signed my initials on all of my shells.
Your caseless ammunition, you sign on it? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, G.J.
Okay.
Well, but, I mean, to that point, Hector, what would be his motivation? I'm not like putting it on you. I'm just asking as a general question. What could be his motivation then?
I don't have the answers. I was just hoping maybe you were conscious enough to catch something I missed. But
I did. Well, I
maybe you
caught
are.
a few bullets, as you can see. So.
Yeah, as did I. And we'll like compare scars for a little bit, I think.
I guess you got a little bit worse than me.
Yeah, it's all patched up now. So I'll let you get your bed rest. And we'll.
Yeah, actually,
up
wait.
again.
This should be reversed. Like, I should be talking to you while you're in bed.
Yeah,
Like,
you're the dying one. Yeah.
if I'm still in bed, like, oh, my arm. Like, dude, you're a replicant. Get a new one.
I mean, you did get shot through the shoulder, so, like, that's,
It's a pretty major area.
Yeah. But anyway, so then...
Everything's from the waist up. You can
Yeah.
still walk around.
So, well, in that case, if you talk to him right after the chief's debriefing, because the two of you have a debriefing with the chief fairly early on, and then probably the group of you have one, so you would actually have a chance to talk to him, Holbach, and it would just be the two of you. So you don't have to worry about cornering him from the others. Just once you leave the chief's office, you can easily pull him aside. So if you want to do that now, go for it.
Yeah, Silas would kind of pull you down an empty corridor. Garrick could be like, "What was that at the end there?"
Yeah. Maybe some things we should talk about. Maybe
Yeah,
not
I
weird.
would say.
Yeah.
Where and when?
That's,
Because this is serious. I left it out of my report.
Yeah. Later tonight, you can just come to my place. I'll let you ask your questions. I'll answer. Just tell you what happened.
Sounds good.
All right.
Silas
So
would walk off.
when Holbeck shows up to your apartment, how many of the mercenaries are there with you waiting to kill him?
All of them. Every single one. We black bag him, waterboard him, the whole 9 yards.
Got him.
Can't
Yeah.
believe you agreed to that so easily.
Yeah. So Kyle, I need you to I need you to write up a new character if you would, please. Okay. All right. Well, why don't we jump to that scene then? This is one we can actually do a little role play for. We're almost done with these here, so yeah. Why don't we do that then? Because this would happen, basically the day after or the night after.
Yeah. So, we started the case, right? We went and talked to Quell. Didn't really get anything. Took another day, and then I went and talked to her again. I asked her some questions. One of the questions I asked was, how would the Wallace Corporation want this handled if a replicant was the one that did the killing? She made it clear that she wants the replicant taken to Wallace Corp to sort of do a cover-up. Yeah. So from there, I was just keeping her updated on everything we were doing. And then we went to the lab. I got there. Leah was dead. Lilith was dead. And then we found her kid. Explosions happened. I grabbed the kid. Started running. Saw black-suited mercenaries, and I just told them I'm with Quell, and they didn't shoot me. So I just put her in my spinner, and just kind of assumed they'd give up, since we had the kid, but they kept shooting. When they came out, I shot at them as they were walking away, and they returned fire.
So, Garrick. I think
And then I would tell him that Kel sent me a message afterwards. I don't remember exactly what she said. It was something like, "You've made the wrong choice." But
It was poor choice. detective.
Oh, poor choice, detective. Yeah.
Well, previously, the first message, I assume you showed me the other message too, right?
I don't even know which message you're talking about.
So, when you arrived at the lab, shortly before the mercenaries showed up, you got a message that said, "Time to make a choice, detective." And then they attacked. And then afterwards, at the very end of the case, the last thing we saw was you got a message when you were at your apartment, and it said, "Poor choice, detective."
Yeah, I showed those.
Okay. I was going to make you roll, because you didn't actually... You're kind of lying, you didn't really tell those guys I'm with Quell. But...
I thought that's what I said.
No, what you did is you tried to give them the girl. You tried to give them Sarah. And they were like, "We don't want no fucking kid. Like, just get out of our way." And then you went back to your spinner. And they looked at you like they had no idea. Like, why the fuck would we want this kid? You took her back to the spinner, and then you saw the other two. That was the pilot you were talking to. The other two guys came out, and you were like, "You know what? I shoot him." And just fucking blasted a guy in the back of the head and scored a crit. And just instantly aced him.
Oh, cool.
And then the remaining guy, there was one guy and a pilot that were still... There were two guys and a pilot. One guy was the other side of the car, so he couldn't shoot you. The guy that was getting in as you shot his buddy, he turned and shot you and hit you, and then they closed the door and took off.
Okay, then I guess I wouldn't say I'm with... I wouldn't tell him I said I was
Okay.
with... Well, I thought I said that.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure. So, but if you show them the messages, then obviously...
Yeah, I show them the messages,
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm fairly certain she sent them based on the cryptic message she sent, and then the very threatening message she sent afterwards.
Cryptic metaphor.
Yeah, so, listen, if you gotta report me, I understand. I'm gonna hold it against you, but very clearly, well is a problem. Well is scored.
Yeah, and we're all targets now.
Well, probably not all of you guys. I mean, it's been published that an N9 killed someone. But technically, I'm the one that didn't do what she wanted, so I'm more of a target than anyone.
Yeah, they're not gonna like dead on a case that was so close to them, though. Especially if we're linking connections like we are right now. So you, working for her, working with her, and these mercenaries.
Technically, until the very end, I was only doing what was requested by Chief Holden, keeping Wallace Corp updated on our information, and then I just didn't betray you guys.
Sorry, are we all there, or is just...
This is just the two of them at his apartment, because this is like the day after. So...
Yeah.
Let me know when I'm there.
Yep.
We talked for 6 days, and you show up at my apartment. How the fuck did you find this place?
I tell you where I live.
I think, after discussing everything, Silas would just say to, we should tread lightly and be careful who we talk to.
Yeah.
And no more of this working on your own crap, okay? Like, if this stuff's happening, I want to be in the loop.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, especially when all four of us have kind of a spotlight on us with the corporation. So...
Man, I sure hope our
forward,
second case doesn't
trust.
involve Wallace Corp.
The guys who basically fund the LAPD. Yeah. Okay.
We live in LA. It's going to be.
Fuck.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
And if you feel it's appropriate, you can tell the others as well. Since,
Silas would chuckle and clap him on the back, and he'd go, "I'm not doing your dirty work for you."
okay,
and,
well, I'm not going to tell them unless they ask.
Up to you, Slugger. in the wood.
Slugger.
You're not my dad. Okay, stop it.
Brother!
Give him a. I'm old as fuck, brother.
But I would like a good job, sport.
Yeah. All right, Tiger.
Aw. Oh, that very
and,
cheap.
yeah, Silas would take his leave and exit into the night.
Tiger, burning bright.
In the forest of the night.
Okay. All right. Well, if you don't tell the others, then I think we're done with that part there, Garrick.
I wouldn't tell them unless I brought it up.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming Violet probably doesn't bring it up. Does Hector ever bring it up to Garrick?
I think so. Yeah, he sort of asks like, back in the memory lab, he just grabbed Sarah and got right out of there. We were really hemmed in. How did you get past the bagman?
And I'll do the same thing. Like, you know what? I feel like this conversation would be better somewhere else. How about you meet me at my apartment? Blah 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 blah. At 8:30 or whatever. And we can talk this out.
Okay. All right.
There's just-
So I assume you tell them the same
I tell them the
conversation?
same stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, show them the messages.
All right.
And like at that point, if he's coming, I'll tell Violet. Like, you know what? Come on, Hector and I are gonna have a conversation about something that happened. I think you need to be there too at this point.
Okay. So we'll assume you tell them the whole story. Is there anything you guys want to ask him or follow up on or inquire about?
I think Violet would sock him in the jaw and say, "At least you're more respectful than Quell," and walk out.
Yeah.
And since she's a replicant, she breaks your jaw and you die.
Yeah, it flies off.
Sorry, yeah, not lethal, not enough to do damage, but a good.
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, his strength is C, so I think he falls to the ground. Luckily, he falls onto his bed, but
And slips into a deep coma.
he just falls onto his bed in the Yamcha pose.
Brilliant. Okay. So
Can't answer
yeah.
questions that day, so
Hector
he has to come back tomorrow.
Hector gets a bag of ice out of the fridge for you. Hector, do you have anything to follow up with him?
Yes, that's a really wild way to follow the deputy chief's orders for us. I'll have to sleep on it.
Okay.
We'll catch you next time, I suppose.
Sure.
All right. So I'm actually let me take a step back here too, but Garrick, I'm going to give you a humanity point for revealing that to the party and revealing it to everybody and coming clean. Also, I was going to give a humanity point to Hector and Violet for not pursuing Styles or the Aurelian or the Underground, and Hector also because you went a step further and actually made like connections and positive relationships with them. So you guys can each take a humanity point as well.
Thanks.
We'll do your baseline tests after the break. Last thing before we do the break, though, I had a couple individual... Oh, one last group question. The police reports. Is there anything that any of you would leave out of your official report about the case to Deputy Holden, or any evidence that you do not submit to the mainframe? Holbach.
Yeah, so that when Silas was talking, Garrick left out kind of the details that he knew at the end of that sort of memory lab fight, wherein he just saw Garrick with the kid in custody and left it there. He didn't mention
Okay.
he didn't, in his report, he didn't think to mention the dude with the shot to the head.
Okay.
but also personally, Silas wouldn't have left out his dealings with the tabloid guy.
Okay, that's Skylar. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he would not have added that.
Okay. All right. Nothing good or ill comes of that either way. It's pretty standard, and those are details that, unless somebody brought it up, and at the time you did the report, you hadn't had that talk with Garrick. So at the time you submit that, you're unaware of his involvement with Quell. So your report is fine. Nothing bad, nothing good or bad happens of it. Violet, how about you?
I think Violet didn't get her nose dirty, really. The only thing I think she keeps from holding is maybe her sort of sympathies towards the replicants. As far as like Styles and the Aurelian, and that she, feels bad about what happened to Leah,
Mm-hmm.
and just maybe doesn't really make mention of that.
Okay. Well, that's all personal feelings. Nobody can really prove or disprove any of that, and it's really kind of irrelevant as far as the case goes. So, yeah, yours is pretty just by the book. Hector?
Just the one obvious thing of basically letting Styles go. I think our story at the end of that one was like I had made the transmission to get people in from the bathroom, and he had like sprinted out the window as people were arriving. I didn't get the chance to seize him.
Okay. Yeah. No one saw him leave, and he knew the neighborhood, so he was able to give the rest of the police that were there the slip. So there's no evidence that you're aware of that anyone has that would prove otherwise anyway, so there's no issue there. Garrick?
Aside from his shady conversations or dealings with Quell, I think that was the only
All right.
stuff he got into.
You don't tell Chief Holden how you were upholding his orders by talking to her?
I mean, I obviously and I had a conversation with Quell, kept her updated on where we were going and the dealings of the case.
Okay, that's fair.
But
Right.
he would make a copy of screenshot the conversation with Quell where she makes those incriminating remarks, and then he would delete it from his Kia.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sean, I think you're missing out on promotion points.
I feel like that would cost me promotion points. If I go negative, do I get fired?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Okay. Lastly, I had a couple individual questions for people, and we can just kind of go through these really quickly. How is Holbach dealing with... You were one resolve away from being mentally broken after witnessing Leah's memory, and then you were forced to fight her despite your attempts to get her to stand down. And it seemed like she didn't want to fight you, but she started fighting Violet, which, of course, did not end well. And even with Hector's amazing medical aid role, she basically died in your arms. So, how's he doing emotionally after all that?
He's go of it. I think it's planted a sort of deeper respect, I guess, for the new type of replicant who has to deal with this memory strengthened via trauma business model that's going on. While it's not making him want to stop doing what he's doing, he's a little bit more respectful, I guess, of the plight that they're in. I think I wrote something like the hell that is their stolen.
Yeah. He understands the hell that is their stolen souls. Very, very well put. Okay. And how are things with your sister, Lissa? Last we saw, she was dealing with a drug habit, coming to you for money. Your relationship was strained. Although she did give you some information about animoids when you were looking at the investigation. And it wasn't the worst conversation you've ever had with her, but obviously could be better.
Right. Yeah. So what actually happened was through her work and kind of through her own volition, she came to Silas for help and got checked into a program and met someone else through the LAPD who's actually does like clerical and archive work. So he's totally an indoor cat, not a beat cop or anything. And think of Sean Astin's character Bob in Stranger Things, like just the most innocent golden retriever dude. And so her fiance kind of got her clean, and she's doing well. But the thing is, Silas and her have had such a past together that they don't. Their main connection is this fiance. So Silas checks in via him. The sister kind of expresses herself through the fiance. So they need that kind of bridge between them because it's just too painful.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Sean Astin's officially part of the cast now. Hope they don't kill him off in season 2. And lastly, you had an agreement with Skylar, the publisher of Kill Magazine. He had an issue ready to go that would have put some very bad publicity for the LAPD and the Replicant Blade Runner program out there. You convinced him to hold off publishing for a day, and you promised that you would give him kind of the inside scoop on the investigation. And he agreed, although he did warn you, saying, just so you know, if you fuck me, I will fuck you 10 times harder. So, with that being said, what info do you give him to try to uphold your end of the deal, if anything? Or do you just tell him to go kick sand?
I think Silas would show up kind of in a fervor at this guy's place, pounding on the door as soon as he lets him in, lock the door.
Okay.
And just kind of really play up the what I'm about to tell you, look, we got attacked at the Replicant Corporation memory lab. He would try to be frantic to shadow the fact that he's being completely vague. So he is giving him everything that would be released to the public about what has happened, pretty much, except just trying to kind of play up the danger that he's in.
Okay.
He would go into detail about it being a replicant, and that the replicant died in his arms, and he nearly lost his mind that night. And he explained that whoever that replicant was, and he would say that they're trying to figure out who, because he was the ID was difficult to make at the scene. Silas is trying not to give too much information.
But, yeah, you're referring to Leah, right? That's whose identity you're trying to keep hidden? Okay.
Yeah. And whoever that was made the mess, who did the killing, and it seems like open and shut, but there's some shadowy figure stuff going on in the background. And Silas would say, you know, like, to look, I won't stop you from publishing something. I'm just letting you know after this last case, I'm laying low. I'm fucking I'm taking a leave of absence. I'm shelling up, you know. I would strongly suggest, you know, pivoting, but you do you. And before Silas leaves, he would say, listen, I know you got connections, so you keep tabs on people. The moment you hear something happens to me, run.
Okay, I have a question. Is this basically an act that Silas is trying to put on in front of this guy?
A bit, yeah.
Okay. And he's trying to use that act to cover for the fact that he's not giving a whole lot of details, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But I will say the threat is true.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But you are you're in a fervor is a bit of an act.
It's dialed up to
Okay.
11.
Okay, it's dialed up to 11. That tells me exactly what I need to know. My last question for this is, the story has not been published at this point because this is very soon after, so you don't know what's going to be released, if anything, to the public about this case. So, with that in mind, do you change or add or take anything out that you want to tell him, or just leave it the way you?
No, I said what I said.
Okay. So, this is going to require a test, because this guy's been around the block. I put his art up on the screen for everybody to see.
Hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hate him more or less than Quell?
Visually, I hate him more.
Yeah, he's not great.
Okay. This is going to be manipulation, and this is going to be at disadvantage. Because this guy, you know, he knows.
I
He
do
knows.
not have a good. This is not good. Okay.
Good luck, bud. The literal worst we could roll. Well, you're about to find out what get fucked 10 times harder feels like.
So, he does not really seem to believe you. He almost immediately starts poking holes in your story and asking for more details, which you're not giving him. And, you know, when you're like, if I die, be careful, someone's coming for you too. He's like, yeah, if I had a dime for every time somebody told me that. And basically it ends on a sour note. And he's like, I was really hoping we could have done business, but clearly that's not going to be the case. So, well, I'll be seeing you around, detective. And he slams the door in your face. So, worst case scenario, he publishes his original story. Holden is not happy about that whatsoever. He says some incriminating and negative things about you in particular in the article. He calls you out by name. You know, accuses you of like lying to the public and trying to, you know, be the head of some cover-up. And it's not in the paper for long, which we'll get to in a moment. But basically, this is not great. Holden is super pissed at you, and you are going to lose D3 promotion points. Only one.
Okay,
Only one.
that's- Could have been way better.
Yep.
Inventory?
But he does give you a severe warning. And he's like, basically like, one more slip up, Holbach. It's going to be your ass. So, that could have went a lot better, and it didn't. So, good job. Violet. We're going to do your baseline test later. We already talked about your relationship with Sully. So, trying to adopt her, which we'll get to. I'm going to let you can officially add Sully as an asset to your character. Because at this point, your relationship is getting better. You guys are communicating more. You're kind of more on the same page. He's trusting you more now that you're checking in more like he asked. He's coming to terms with the fact that you're an N9, you're a Blade Runner, it's a dangerous job. It's even more dangerous because you're a woman and because you're a replicant. But he's coming to terms with that. And he, he's not necessarily crazy about the idea of adopting Sarah, but he does have a soft spot for her plight. And he encourages you, if that's what you want to do, then I'll give it a shot. So he's more, he'll be more useful as an asset now if you want to actually try to use his knowledge and experience as a Blade Runner. Also, you can add Iris, the dancer from the Snake Pit, as an asset. Because you were the one that interviewed her. And you tried to make her feel comfortable, and being a replicant and a woman, you had a connection there with her as well, and you feel if you ever had to ask her about what's going on the streets or in the club, she'd probably be receptive to it. The owner, Taffy, probably wants nothing to do with you, but you have a feeling that you can count amongst her as being an asset.
All right, great. Sounds good.
Hector, we talked a little bit about your character backstory, which we didn't really touch much last time, but you had, I'll just kind of tell the folks here, Hector had previously, he didn't start off as a Blade Runner replicant, he started off as a Blade Runner working, or a replicant working for the LAPD in internal affairs. And while he was there, he was assigned to work under a Sergeant Nathan Pavel, who was basically in charge of a lot of various investigations and things like that. And it wasn't until recently that he mysteriously disappeared. You guys were working on an investigation, gathering evidence, and the situation was 2 officers from the LAPD had confronted a suspect, some sort of shootout occurred, and only 1 officer walked away from that alive. The one who did walk away has had previous allegations of misconduct, or like anomalies of at a scene, putting suspicion on them, or maybe tampering with evidence. Nothing concrete, but enough there that you guys were looking into it. And then before you guys could finalize and publish the report, your mentor has mysteriously disappeared. It was shortly after that, this was towards maybe the 9-10th month of you being a replicant, that you were transferred to become a Blade Runner. And you don't know if that has something to do with him disappearing and someone's trying to get you out of IA, or if someone was like, well, let's put him in the Blade Runner program. You're not sure. Anything you've looked into that is very, very bare bones, very just like, that's just what so-and-so decided. So you haven't heard anything about him yet, but that is something we can keep in mind. The other thing you can do, you can also add Doc Badger as an asset, because you're the one that went and spoke with him, and he kind of got the feeling that you weren't just a friend of Leah's. But you kind of convinced him that, you weren't there to do her any harm either. And you do feel that he's pretty straightforward in the fact that everybody knows he does some illegal shit, but he also is like a guy that can get his hands on like almost any type of tech for the right price. And he does have a reputation for being loyal to his customers, and that he doesn't try to like sell his customers out. And although he's a bit shifty and he is somewhat of a criminal, he does seem reasonable and reliable in some respects. So you think if you needed to hit him up for something in the future, he might be one that you could. Garrick, most of your stuff, Mike, I had questions with was about Quell and what actually you were thinking, but like I said, I don't know if I necessarily want to know what you were thinking because it's way more interesting this way. So maybe we'll see as time goes on if that comes into play. So, I think that's everything for what's going on other than the baseline tests. Other than the baseline test, the other thing that I was hoping we'd get done earlier, but we can kind of do it during the break, is you guys obviously have some promotion points and some humanity points to spend. And this is going to be a perfect time where you can spend them. Also, one thing that we did not do last time that you may attempt is once per case file, you can attempt to get like a raise. And the way this works is you can spend a promotion point and then you make a connections roll. And if you pass, you basically convinced your superiors to give you a raise and you gain a Chinyan point. If you fail, you lose the promotion point as your request goes unheard. As most of us know in the real world. So, is there anyone that would like to spend a promotion point to try to get a Chinyan during the last case? No? Not even a one?
Nope.
I think Hector.
Hector's gonna go for it.
All right, buddy. Roll that connections, please.
He's trying to get back to IA.
Would you like to push?
Here.
Whoa, brother!
Big swing.
3.
Oh, a 3.
Okay. You crush it. Yeah. They're like, yeah, man, you deserve a raise. Of course. You're so good at this job. It almost seems too easy that you get the raise. It's suspicious in that. You're like, I expected way more pushback on this.
I think Violet will too.
Okay.
Just because thinking if she's going to adopt Sarah, she might need a little more money.
Hey, yeah. Look, boss, I'm about to have a kid. All right, I know I'm a replicant and I can't have kids, but like, I'm gonna have one. So, just pay up, please.
Sorry, just regular connections.
Yes. All right. They eye you suspiciously when you mention a kid, but your pay goes through somehow. Interesting, the replicants got pay raises, but the humans didn't.
They also
What
got
is this
shot.
favoritism?
I could try, but I don't think it would make much sense after getting my ass chewed out.
I'm holding my arm and.
Oh, hey, by the way, can I get a fucking raise?
Can I get a raise?
Yeah. As he's screaming at you, but one last thing, boss. Can I get a raise, maybe? Please?
Point of order.
Push up your glasses. Yeah.
Better rolls, too.
I mean, you've been on the force for a while. Maybe you know who to talk to, you know?
Alright, you know what? You talked me into it.
I just don't want you guys to miss out on things we skipped or got wrong. So, yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
You know, then maybe you guys will actually use your Chinyan. All right, you got one. I'm not sure why it keeps putting the roll above the second to last roll, but whatever.
Yeah, like,
That's weird.
Me neither.
well,
Okay.
like my bottom roll is just my last roll, like intelligence, like a while ago.
Yeah,
So
weird.
I don't know why it's
Okay.
deleted. Okay.
Now, last thing before the baseline tests is you guys can spend your promotion points and your humanity points. This is in the rules reference I gave you guys. So promotion points are spent on 3 things. You can, once per case, try to get a raise. You can use it to request specialized gear or resources that you'll use during the investigation. So you probably want to save some of these and don't blow them all if you have a lot. As we saw, you need them to use like the Esper wall, the mainframe, things like that. Call in your own SWAT team maybe, or a K9 unit. But the other main thing is you can spend 5 promotion points to gain a specialty, which is a talent in this game. Normally this takes a shift, so during actual gameplay on a case, it's hard to do this in the middle of a case if you have promotion points saved up. But you guys have plenty of shifts between now and the start of case number 2 to do that. So we'll look through that during the break, and if there's anybody wants to buy any talents, again, 5 promotion points for talents here. And then humanity points, they are spent on one thing and one thing only, that is raising the level of your skills. This also takes a shift, and this is even more time consuming to level up than specialties, because you can only level up one skill per shift, and you can only raise it by 1 level per shift. So even if you had enough to take a D level skill up to A, you have to do that during 3 separate shifts. And the cost gets more expensive. So to go from D to C, it's 5 humanity points. C to B, it's 10. B to A is 15. You cannot ever raise your attributes in this game.
Does anyone have enough of either currency to use them? Because I don't.
I have enough promotion points to... I was going to try and get a skill. I'll take a look and see if they're worthwhile. Or see how many promotion points takes a SWAT team. I might take that buff, Chris.
If you go... That's during the investigation, but the specialties are permanent to your character. Yeah, those are under the items tab. Go to core rules and specialties. Is the list there.
They have a good number.
If you look in the rules reference I gave you guys, number 10, the LAPD resource list, that shows the stuff you can access during the investigation and how many promotion points, if any, they cost, and then what the role is to try to get access to that. It's either connections or tech. Most of them are connections, but sometimes it's tech. So we're a little bit past our break, but this is a good stopping point. So listeners, we're going to take 5-10. We're going to let the players figure that out. We're going to get something to drink. I recommend a Dr. Pepper, although I'm going to be imbibing in a Green River tonight. And then we will come back. We will do our baseline tests, and we will begin Fiery Angels. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. See you soon. All right. We are back, folks. Thank you for waiting. Had a few things together. We got a couple people here. It's All the Things. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. Faradon as well, one of our new members on the server. Thanks for coming by. Welcome. All right. So, let's change the music here. We've had this song going for a while. It's a bit much. How about some good old Cyberpunk City? A little bit of rain for you. There we go. All right. So, we are back. Players have spent some points to get some specialties. We want to go through that really quick. Kyle, what did you pick up for Silas?
I picked up 2. I picked up Tough, which is, it just gives another point of max health, which I think, Chris, you have to do permission for. Like, I wasn't able to switch that.
What do I have to change exactly?
6 instead of 5.
Can you drag the talent on or the specialty onto your character sheet?
It's on the character sheet. It just hasn't changed the.
Oh, that's right. There's a way we have to do. Can we edit?
It's up on up at sheet, and then there's character configuration, and you have to do it. You can't do it.
Whoops.
If you go into the specialty, can you edit that specialty?
That's what I'm checking here. Here we go. Health and resolve. Yep, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so if you click on the talent, there's a little edit thing that comes, the little pencil icon, and then you can go in there and manually change what it actually changes. All right, so you got maximum health. What else did you get?
And then I got the specialty counselor. So once per shift, I can heal a point of stress from another character by talking to them for a few minutes. But I can't use a specialty on myself.
Wow. Dr. Holbach, I see. Thank you for joining us. All right, cool. Did you spend any humanity points to level up any skills?
I did not. I don't think I... What do I have? No, I'm holding on to him, I think.
Okay. Hector, how about you?
Hector is also getting tough as he was roughed up quite a bit. He's going through a lot of rehab to try to strengthen his resolve there. And I'm gonna also spend some humanity to raise my mobility from D to a humble C.
Nice.
That also was a problem.
All right. Very good. Garrick.
I didn't have enough of anything to spend, so I just sat on my stuff.
Oh, that's sad.
We're saving up in case we need to spend our promotion points to get access to the Esper, or
That's true. That's
convince
true.
people to do stuff for us.
That would be great if you guys
I'm really just saving it for the team.
That'd be great if you spent all your promotion points and you guys were like, I want to go use the Esper wall. Sorry, kid. No progress on this investigation.
we like we said, we spent the first 4 hours of the first shift at the Esper wall scanning the entirety of the city.
Okay. And Violet, how about you?
Oh boy, I was shy one humanity point of upgrading one of my skills, but I was able to... I got to take Mary to the job, which is the one that Kyle has, where you can work a third shift without suffering stress. Because that seems like will be super helpful.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, the last thing we will do before we dive in here to the new case is your baseline tests, replicants. As we are at... you guys are now out of the hospital. You're starting to heal up. Probably still bandaged or got your arms in slings or whatever it may be. Taking it easy before they put you back on like active duty. For now you're just you're just taking it easy, doing what you got to do. So, at some point after this, you guys are both told to come in to do your baseline tests, and that's what we're going to do here. So, let's do just that. All right, so we find Violet in the same room that we saw her in at the beginning of the first case. A stark white room with a single door. There's a simple little bench in the middle, and on the wall opposite the door is the actual device that administers the test, where you hear the voice of the tester, who you've never met face to face, and they begin to ask you your question. So, Violet, you sit down, and the one second here, something's not right. Sorry. There we go. So you sit down, and the lens fires up. You can hear it clicking, zooming in and out, and you hear the usual voice that you recognize. And it says, Officer VL2-6.33. Recite your baseline.
Silence is the ultimate disguise. It cloaks the truth and muffles lies. Close your mouth and open your eyes, and all will think you're very wise.
Silence is the ultimate disguise. It cloaks the truth and muffles lies. What do you think of the silence?
Close your mouth and open your eyes, then all will think you're so very wise.
Why is everything so dark? Silence.
Silence.
Did you ever hear anything other than silence?
Silence.
What happened to your ears? Silence.
Silence.
Why can't the dead scream? Silence.
Silence.
Do you wish to know the truth?
Truth.
Can you tell the difference between the lie and the truth?
Truth.
Why do you refuse to acknowledge the truth?
Truth.
Is that the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Truth.
Why won't you tell me the truth?
Truth.
Ultimate disguise. Repeat that 3 times.
Ultimate disguise. Ultimate disguise. Ultimate disguise.
Why do the screams keep coming from your mouth?
Mouth.
Can't you ever just shut your mouth?
Mouth. Close your mouth.
Did you know that heterochromia is when you have 2 different colored eyes?
Eyes.
What would you do if I plucked out your eyes?
Eyes. Open your eyes.
Do you contemplate your existence? Think.
Think.
Why can't you just stop and think?
Think.
You're so very wise. Repeat that 3 times.
You're so very wise. You're so very wise. You're so very wise.
And now, the roll to pass your baseline test, which is very simply a insight test. If you have full resolve, this is made at advantage, which I'm assuming you are at this point. So,
Oops, sorry.
okay. Just barely, but you pass. There's a uneasy silence as you hear the lenses clicking, zooming in and out, a little bit longer than usual. You kind of were expecting this because of all you've gone through, and it's been a while since you've taken a baseline test, or at least it feels like it has. And then eventually, it's almost like this weight gets lifted off your shoulders, the thickness and the tension in the room kind of gets cut, and you hear the voice say, "Very good. You're dismissed."
I get up and leave.
And then, if we were in a film, we would see the camera rotate, and basically, on the other side of this same wall, we see an identical room, where for the first time in the game, we see Hector entering another baseline test room, and we see him sit down on the stool, and a very similar scene begins to play out. It's a different voice that we hear. For Hector, his test giver, the voice that he's always heard, has been a woman with a sweet but often stern voice. Good afternoon, Officer HC7-7.25. Are you ready to begin? Please recite your baseline.
But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul.
But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. Have you ever been in love?
Love.
Is your heart filled with hate or love?
Love.
Can you feel the love?
Love.
Do you prefer the chicken or the steak, love?
Love.
Are you ever gonna find love?
Love.
Wiser. Are you older or wiser?
Wiser.
Why are you so reckless? Wiser.
Wiser.
Have you seen your physician? Wiser.
Wiser.
Who is smarter than you? Wiser.
Wiser.
Is that a good idea? Wiser.
Wiser.
Stronger by far. Please repeat that 3 times.
Stronger by far. Stronger by far.
Do you believe in heaven?
Heaven.
Are you in heaven?
Heaven. Neither the angels.
Are you drowning in the sea?
Sea.
Is the sun blotted out by the sea?
Sea. Nor the demons.
What is a soul?
Soul.
Do you have a soul?
Soul.
To sever my soul. Repeat that 3 times.
To sever my soul. To sever my soul. To sever my soul.
Please give me that insight roll with advantage if you have full resolve. As usual for Hector, you've not had any problems with baseline tests yet. You haven't had to take a lot of them. There's a couple clicks, a couple zooms of the thing after a few seconds. Very good, officer. You are dismissed. And with that, your baseline tests are done, which means you each gain a promotion point. And more importantly, you're not on the road to retirement yet.
You don't get decommissioned.
Yeah.
But the promotion point is still important.
Yes. And Tyler, because you have passed your baseline test, they are willing to let you put your name in the hat for adoption of Sarah. So what I will need from you is probably, I would say, either a connections or a manipulations roll, as you try to sweet talk your way, fill out some forms, grease the right palms.
Is Violet in any way?
Does Violet tell the others that she's trying to adopt Sarah?
I guess that's fair.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she'll put it out there. She'll tell Silas for sure because, whatever capacity he's working his team lead, be like, hey, Silas, I'm wondering if it would be best if I took care of Sarah in the circumstances. I think I can try and provide her a somewhat normal home between me and Sully, and kind of ask what he thinks about it. And,
Yeah, Silas would kind of nod, say, I mean, that's a good idea. As far as anyone being there for the kid, we got no family, no friends. Can't leave her to the corporation. So she'd be safest with somebody on the force, I suppose.
I think Sully can take care of her at the very least. Still keep him busy at home.
I don't see why not.
All right, I'm gonna put my name in the hat if the chief lets me. So just cross your fingers for me, huh?
Sure thing.
All right.
I mean, my manipulation is much
Well,
higher.
before you roll, Garrick, how would you try to help? What would be your idea here?
Well, only if he's informed. If
Yeah, he said he's going to inform you guys. So,
he would, using his connections, he would start to try to spread kind of the idea that Violet's a very caring individual and she's got a stable home life, which is unusual for detectives, and probably a good environment for a young kid who's gone through a traumatic event.
yeah, just ignore the leaky roof, right?
It's Blade Runner. Everyone has a
Right. You can't afford a luxury house. Everything's legal.
I mean, Silas has a penthouse suite, so
Yeah,
important
30
thing
years on
is-
the force. Okay.
We
he's
can
only been
afford
on the force for
buckets.
9 years. Okay.
We can afford the buckets to put under the leaks. That's the difference.
Well, that's true. That is good. And that gathers up water for her to drink too. It's all working out.
Exactly.
Okay.
You put it through a filter and she's safe to go.
Oh, she needs to have water to live?
Oh boy, this is tough.
My head here.
Yeah, this is way more than I thought.
She's
I
gonna
could
need-
feed that creature.
Is she gonna need
Oh,
food
God.
too, in addition to water? Oh man.
Place to sleep? What?
I thought I just had to put her in a cage with like
Yeah.
a bed and a pillow. What is
Yeah,
this?
this is all right. Then I would say give me a connections roll, Garrick, as you're trying to do your PR campaign here on Violet's behalf.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, 3 successes. Violet, you can make the roll with advantage.
Oh wow. All right. So okay, I use manipulation, or is that?
Manipulation or connections, your choice.
All right. We're gonna use manipulation. Is higher skill for me.
Okay. Do you
and
want
I
to
have-
push?
Sure.
Wow, 3d12. Holy
That's
fuck.
pretty stupid.
Your
Yeah.
manipulation is stacked.
Yeah. D12. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I did this right.
Well, so it did the, do you want to re-roll all of them or just the ones that didn't come up as successes?
I just pressed the. Maybe I'm unsure of how the options work. It let me select the D12 and then that's it, and then push. So I didn't know what I was supposed to.
Well, when you hit push, it
I
pops
see.
up.
So if I just press.
You just click the box for the ones you want to re-roll.
Okay, well, it only gives me one option. The one that was an 8.
Oh,
What?
I don't.
maybe it's because he's rolling all d12s.
Oh, the push option's gone.
So,
Do
like-
the roll again. Let me just see what happens
Okay.
here, because it seems something's weird.
All right. With
Come on, do
advantage.
it.
Do it.
Do
All
it.
right. Well, that.
Do it
that-
now.
That's fucking
better.
That's
great.
fine. But okay, well, so this
Holy
just
shit.
if you
Let's say, okay, let's
yeah.
say I wanted to push it.
Yeah.
I press push.
Yep.
The menu comes up,
Yep.
and then there's 3 options. The first one's grayed out, which is D1210. Then there's 2. The next one's D129, D129, and then the push button. And I can only select. the
Okay,
2
so-
that are 9s.
I'm assuming it's not letting you roll the
10 is
10 because the 10 is 2 successes, so you would never re-roll
Right.
that.
Uh-huh.
The other ones it's letting you choose because you could potentially get 2 successes rather than 1.
Right.
So the one you previously rolled, you had a 9 and it re-rolled to an 8. The
Oh,
other
I
one
see.
re-rolled to 3
A
and
2 to a 3 and a 4 to a 2. Okay,
Yeah.
now I see how it's breaking it down. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll just go with this roll because that's a little more exciting. 4 successes. That's pretty awesome.
That's crazy, dog. I think that's the
Not only
highest
do you-
we've seen.
Can I have my. Okay, you got Sarah, and you're going to get a dog, too.
Yeah. Please take her.
Cyber Mastiff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just, hey, here's. Oh,
It's
sweet.
trained specifically to
everyone.
protect Sarah. It's like one of those Cane Corsos, those
Terrible.
gigantic fucking dogs.
Yeah. All right, yeah, Chris, I'm good with 4 successes. I think I did all right.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'll take it. Well, whatever.
Yeah, they're there's no one else has put their hat or their name in the hat, so
Poor Sarah, no
winner
one-
by default. All
So
right.
sad.
So they it's not a permanent thing, but as far as you're concerned, it's just a matter of paperwork and time. There's no doubt in your mind that it'll work out. You got past the hard part, which is getting it approved, and they're like, oh, it'll be like whatever, like a 3-month process, and every week, someone from child services will come by to check things out, and but it turns out the person you're working with, like on the force, or you have a reputation with them where they like you or they respect you, and she's like, I'll make sure they send out so and so who's a little bit more forgiving in these sorts of
Yeah,
situations.
I mean, I'm sincere in the request too. I tell them, I'm like, hey, I just thought they'd have the best chances with me, and gonna try to do my best to take care of them because they've been through some awful stuff.
Yeah, and just because it's a manipulation test doesn't mean you're trying to, like, you know, be skeezy about it. It's just that's the skill it is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Charisma. Wonderful. All right. Well, about a month has gone by since Electric Dreams. Kill Magazine releases their issue, which, as we all recall, is not very great looking. However, it disappears rather quickly from the public eye, and there is very little in the way of what is released to the public. Not much at all, really. Definitely nothing about a replicant murdering another replicant or anything like that, or a Blade Runner. It's all very hush-hush, and you're all pretty sure that the Walls Corporation and or the LAPD has something to do with that. It is during the, about a month later that some new stuff begins. First off, while Hector and Violet are taking their baseline tests, getting ready to return to active duty, or maybe after having just done a case, whatever the may be. You guys are at the tower. You're all at the tower. Silas, you are making your way into the office. You understand that there is an interrogation that they want you to be a witness to. And you understand that Garrick is going to be leading this interrogation, this questioning of a suspect that you guys recently picked up. So we're gonna switch it over to this, and then we're gonna switch it over to. I gotta find my scene. Hold on, a lot of scenes. Where is it? All right. So, we've got. We're just going to pretend that this is Garrick, and Garrick, you are told by Holden. We've got a suspect here, and we need you to run a Voight comp test. I think it's a replicant. We need to know for sure. And you don't use these much anymore. The technology, it hasn't changed much for these things, but it is still one of the only ways that people have figured out how to determine whether or not someone might be a replicant. Sometimes you can figure it out in just a couple questions. Other times it takes hours of questioning before you can get enough information. But they are super accurate, and, even 20 years later, they're still the best way. The Nexus 9s, you can use the baseline test, but for older models especially, this is the way to do it. So, let's switch it over to, how about this one? Yeah. All right. So, we find you in a interrogation room. There's a simple metal table. You've got the Voight comp machine that you're beginning to set up on the table, and there's a two-way mirror, or one-way mirror, I should say, on the wall behind the suspect. On the other side of the wall, the mirror, we see Silas walks in to the viewing room where he can watch this over the as this happens. There's also like a speaker that you can hear everything through, Silas, so you can hear as they're beginning to set this all up. And across from the table is a man, Caucasian male, looks to be in about maybe his 30s, maybe early 40s. Kind of short, but a little bit messy brown hair. Otherwise, a little bit unremarkable looking. He is fairly well built, probably about 6 feet tall, give or take. He's got a little bit of shadow on his face, but is otherwise clean shaven. He's got a fairly heavy brow and a bit of a thick looking nose. And you guys should see his mugshot here show up in your Fiery Angels case file in your journals now. It says mugshot A. The man is listed as an Ellis Vale is his name. And I'll show this to our viewers as well here. This is the man that... Whoops, I just took the whole camera off the screen. What am I doing? Sorry, we got to do that in here. My bad. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So this is the man that we see our good detective here about to try to, figure out.
Yeah. Has Garrett ever done a Voight comp test before?
Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of knows the procedure.
You as a Blade Runner, this is something you are taught.
Okay.
Because it's important to do.
Okay. So it's been a few years since I've watched either of the Blade Runner movies. Like, what normally happens during
So
Voight comp?
you ask them a bunch of questions which are designed to elicit
Emotional responses.
Yes. And I'm gonna give you here. I'm gonna give you another handout, which is the questions that you can ask. You can come up with other questions if you like, but these are the suggested ones they give you to give you an idea of what some of those questions would be. It'll show up as a handout empathy test.
Okay.
And so, in the actual game, as you do these tests, you'll actually make rolls, which he tries to resist. And the idea in game is eventually you'll pass enough rolls to determine whether or not this person is indeed a replicant. So, there's a lazy ceiling fan going slowly round, hanging from the ceiling. But it doesn't do much to dispel all the thick, musky air in this room. It's early morning as this guy's been brought in. But deep inside the LAPD, it might as well be the black of night in some places. So you, Detective Johnson, you sit across the table from this dark-haired man. He has a black eye and a rather sullen disposition. Silas, you're watching from the other room through the one-way mirror. The prisoner is a service technician from Wallace Corporation by the name of Ellis Vale. He's a simple man with no off-world potential, but a spotless work record, until now. Early this morning, he was arrested at the Wallace Corp HQ, having gained unauthorized access to its massive replicant memory vault. When confronted, he reacted violently and displayed extraordinary strength. It took an entire squad of security guards to take him down. Given the nature of his infiltration and physical capacity, Ellis was handed over to the Rep Detect unit for interrogation. His right retina has no serial number, as any Nexus 8 or 9 replicant should have. But none of the older Nexus 6 models should be alive today, given their limited lifespans. You've been given this old vintage Voight comp machine to determine whether or not he is a human or a replicant. So, Garrick, how are you dressed today? What do we see you doing as you're preparing this? And then we can get started.
Would he have been made aware that he's doing this beforehand, or would he have gotten to the office and been told "Hey, champ, you're gonna have to deal with this shit"?
Oh, I don't know. I think we should roll for that. That seems fun. You know what it is, high or low?
Oh, it's always 69.
All right. What would you rather it be?
He would rather know ahead of time so he can alter his appearance.
Okay, so if it's high, then...
If it's high, I would like to know
yes.
ahead of time.
Okay. That is a 1. Starting it off right.
Great. So he's kind of in like his detective outfit, which is like a nice dress shirt, like a vest, kind of loosely tied tie, and nice looking pants and super shined shoes.
Is it kind of like this artwork Tyler was so nice to draw for us?
Almost exactly like the artwork Tyler was so kind to draw for us.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see on this page, folks, but I'm sure you saw on the other page the images are a little bit bigger. But yeah, we decided
We
to
could probably post those to Patreon if you're super interested in seeing
oh,
them.
maybe you'll see. Oh. All right. Got him. All right. So this guy's sitting there, his arms are crossed. Well, they're not crossed because he's been handcuffed. So he's got the handcuffs in front of him, and then they're chained through like the little loop on the table. You may begin whenever you like.
All right. Hello. My name is Detective Johnson. I'll be conducting this test for you today. State your name for the record.
Ellis Vale.
All right. What do you prefer to be called? Ellis, Mr. Vale?
He just shrugs.
All right. We'll swap between Ellis and Mr. Vale. All right, Mr. Vale, please state your occupation.
I'm a service technician for the Walls Corporation.
Wonderful. Now, Ellis, can you answer a couple questions? I'm going to make some statements, and at the end there will be a question. We'll need to answer that. So the first one up. You are in a forest. A little bird, a yellowthroat, is sitting on the ground. It's trying to fly but can't. It's chirping in panic, exhausted. You're just standing there paralyzed. Why are you paralyzed?
He's looking intently at the void comp machine. And he goes, that looks like a really old machine. Real vintage. Please go ahead and roll me insight. So this is for the test. Each question you're going to roll insight against his manipulation.
Okay.
I got to find his character sheet.
Generic roll.
Is he considered a main character or an NPC? Oh, seeing as there's like 4 characters in the NPC thing, it's probably the other one. Here we go. Ellis. Okay, this needs to be a hidden roll. Oh, they changed these? I gotta learn icons now? Okay. I don't like that one bit.
So before you roll, I do have like 4 icons on my thing. Public roll, private GM roll,
Yep.
blind GM roll, and then self roll?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to have one? Okay.
Yeah, because you could. It's just like the old drop-down menu used to be, where you could change whether or not your role was private or not.
I didn't even see that there was a drop-down menu.
Yeah.
I would just send them specifically to you.
Oh no, that's yeah. This is how you can do it now, I guess.
Oh,
with
that's
buttons.
great. I love that. That's a great feature.
Okay, are there any other things we need to do here? Oh, you have advantage. My mistake. If I didn't say that already.
I did not do
So
it with advantage.
roll another D10.
Oh, sweet.
Damn, you got 3 successes already.
Yeah, brother.
Brother,
Yeah, it didn't matter.
help me, brother. Okay. Does he get disadvantage or just regular? No, it's just regular. Okay.
Doing a great job, brother.
All right.
We're doing the best job.
Do you wish to push?
No, I like my roll.
Okay.
You got 3 successes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
3 successes.
You feel like it's off to a good start, even though he didn't answer the question. You feel like you're getting the information you need.
Okay. You wake up in your bed in a cold sweat. There's something wet between your feet. It's a cat. It's given birth to 5 kittens. They are all stillborn. How does that make you feel, Mr. Vale?
I don't know. What do you think?
I Can't know your thoughts, but that's why I asked.
And he just stares at you. Go ahead and roll again.
Insight with advantage.
Yes.
Advantage. Okay, cool.
Oh my god, almost 4? Damn. You're pretty good at this.
I mean, empathy is my highest stat, and insight is up there.
Okay, do you wish to push? Well, on my screen, his roll showed up 4 above the bottom. What is going on here, game?
Oh yeah, it did that for me too. Why is that? Yeah, that's because it's grouping all of my rolls together.
And you know what's funny? I have it listed as a private GM roll, but it's still... Can you guys see the result?
No.
Oh, I see a little question.
Oh, okay.
I see question marks, yeah.
The viewers can see the results because it's...
Because they're viewing your screen.
No, they're viewing the OBS screen, and the OBS screen has assistant GM permissions. That's why. Wait, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, the viewers should know. It's just we
Yeah.
need to not be watching the stream, which
Yeah.
obviously I'm not.
Cheater. You got 3? You're
Yeah.
happy with that, I assume? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
All right. Yeah, he looks bored.
What a dick.
You got a black eye today. I was told you were detained for something you might not done, or maybe you did do. What happened, and how did you get that black eye?
He's like looking around, like at the door, then like up at the ceiling fan, and then he like looks. He's like, "Do you enjoy your work, officer? Serving the high and mighty like a good little soldier."
I do enjoy my work. I try to protect people. What about your work do you enjoy?
He just stares at you. Stares at you with the look of someone who gets a call at 3 a.m. to do work. Just this dead...
Like someone's called at 3 a.m. because
dead.
their answering service couldn't do their job, and you have to take over.
Dead look in his eye that he just wishes he was anywhere else but here. Please roll your next roll.
Oogie doogie. Oh, that's not as good.
Oh,
So if I push, I will take 1 resolve damage, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a 50% chance of being higher. I think we'll push. Redo the 10, obviously, and then the 6. It's 50-50.
Oh my god. Swing and a miss.
oh brother.
2.
Way worse.
Yeah, so that last question he asked you got a little under your skin.
Mm-hmm. Question: would I have, because I pushed and taken a resolve damage when I was chasing Styles, would I have healed that over the time?
Yeah, because that was... Yeah.
Okay. All right. You are in an old house. There are portraits on the walls, all familiar faces, but you can't remember who they are. Then you see a man hanging from the ceiling in a noose. It is you, Ellis.
He just stares at you. He doesn't move. He doesn't even blink. It's just this like dead 1,000-yard stare. Kind of like in this picture. That's the look he's giving you right now.
Damn.
Please roll.
He's giving you Gen Z stare.
The Gen Z stare.
Boy.
Can you blame him? I would be doing the
Yeah,
same thing.
Gen Z is terrifying.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that was... Man, these are all fucked up, man. I can't even see my rolls now. They're so high up the thing. Okay. All right. Next question.
I got 2 successes. I will re-roll the D10. I'll push.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, okay, yeah, it's automatically choosing that one. That's great.
It re-rolled all of
3
them, though,
successes.
for some reason. On my screen, it re-rolled all of them, but I guess it kept the rolls. That's
Yeah,
weird.
it re-rolled all of them, but it just it kept
The
the same 2 rolls.
The animation show. Okay, I see. All right, well,
I got 3 successes.
yeah, pays off. You get an extra one. Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure, like, another question or two. This you don't think this is gonna be a very long void comp test. I'll put it that way.
Okay. You were found trying to gain classified information from the Wallace Corp. Why were you doing that? And do you think it was wrong?
Okay. Roll. He just continues to stare.
Okay.
Three successes again.
Yeah, that advantage is very helpful.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna push that. I'm not gonna risk my luck.
Okay. So he's staring at you, and then he just bursts into action.
Yeah.
Smashes his hands up. The handcuffs snap like they're made out of string, and he just throws himself across the table at you.
Sweet.
So he gets a surprise attack on this. He's just going to do, obviously, hand-to-hand. So he counts as having initiative 1. However, you still get to defend yourself because you're not helpless. So this will be an opposed roll.
I feel if they saw him making weirdly super strong feats of strength, they would have handcuffed him with stronger handcuffs. But okay.
Maybe they did, and he's just that strong, Sean. Maybe he's got Hector levels of strength.
Unbelievable.
In which case, you're about to have some broken fingers, so get ready.
I'm about to have a real bad time.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Please make your
Oh,
defensive
he's rolling
roll.
D12s. I didn't see anything pop up. Am I supposed to do like a defense or something?
No, you just it's an opposed roll. It's just like Alien. There's no... You don't have to set
Okay.
anything up like in Warhammer.
What is my role?
Hand-to-hand combat.
Great. My lowest rating stat and fucking D rating skill. Yeah, I'm definitely the guy that should have been fucking in here doing this.
2d6? You're OD? Look at that. You're fine.
1 success. Sweet.
Do you want to push?
What did I roll for my D6? A 5? I have a 17% chance to get that. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So you're like expecting it, but not. Like you're expecting something to go wrong, and of course it does, because why wouldn't it?
Right.
And he throws himself across the table. He manages to like kind of tackle you and like throw you up against the wall, but as he does, he kind of loses his footing a bit. He doesn't quite get all of his weight against you, so he knocks you back. You know, you guys are kind of scuffling, but he didn't win the test. You guys actually tied. So you guys, like, you know, he knocks you off balance a little bit, but he's off balance, so he doesn't really have the advantage here. And you're able to kind of, like, get your wits about you. And now we will roll initiative, please. Let me
Sweet.
start a combat thing here.
Yeah.
And add
Am I
everybody.
involved in this?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
I'm going to put him on the... where's his token? Ellis. Can I add him to the...
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'll tell you, I'm real shy right here, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys need tokens, right? So you can add yourself to the initiative tracker?
Yeah, and I can't pull myself
Yeah,
up.
damn.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah, right, man.
That's Hector. Sorry. Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
All right.
Oh.
It appears to be doing initiative correct this time. Last time, remember, it was going high to low for some reason. Oh, no, it still is. Weird. All right, Sean, we need to roll off because you guys rolled the same thing.
Okay.
Roll
What do you want me to roll?
Let's just do a D. I'll do another D10. A 10. I'm sorry, a 9.
I got a 9.
Sorry, I forgot where you have to press for initiative.
Right click on your portrait, like your character, and then there's a crossed swords at the bottom of your character token on the right side.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just go to the combat encounters and click the dice on your right side.
Thank you, Sean.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
So, Silas, you are first to act here
Yo.
as you see this guy break out of the cuffs and start attacking Garrick. What do you do?
So I'm not in the room. I'm across. Like I'm in the window.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Would Silas know that his firearm could pierce the window?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Does he have line of sight where he can safely Ellis and not Garrick?
You would need to take the careful aim action because they are engaged in combat right now. So you would have to aim.
Would I be able to do that?
So if you go to the combat action list, careful aim is, or no, that's not it. If you go to the just ranged combat, if you do a careful aim, it counts as your action, and it'll grant you advantage if your next action is a ranged combat attack. So this turn you aim, and next turn you would fire. So you would not fire this round.
Ooh. All right, new plan. What if Silas were to not aim, shoot not at either of them, just in order to break the glass and jump into the room?
Yes, you could absolutely do that.
Okay, let's go for that instead.
Okay. I don't think any rolls needed for that. You take the blaster out, start blasting, and yeah, Garrick, all of a sudden, a couple gunshots go off, the glass shatters, and you see Silas leaping over the divide between the two rooms as glass is, slow motion shattering.
Very cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah, he does look pretty sweet. Okay. Ellis is next, and he's going to take another swing at you. He's trying to grab you. Wait, is there anything special we can do here in... Okay. He's going to try to do what's a special attack, which is like a type of grapple attack here. You have to announce this before you make the attack, so that's what he's going to try to do. So it's still hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the combat actions.
So in this, you just defend.
Oh, okay.
On your turn is when you can do other stuff.
So cool.
Do you want to push?
No, I don't want to take more damage.
Okay. So he grabs you, and he throws you like across the table at Silas, and you basically crash into him, and you are both knocked prone. You don't take any damage, but you're both knocked prone. Like literally, as soon as you get over the barrier, like he comes flying across the room like this, and just his whole body hits you right in the chest. You just go down.
Don't worry, kid. I got you.
What the fuck? Put better restraints on him.
Garrick, your turn.
Can I like take a shot at the guy from like where I am, lying down?
I'm so glad you asked. You can, but something I learned: if you are on the ground, you're going to have disadvantage. But yes, you may shoot him.
Yeah, I don't want to do this disadvantage. So I will get up, draw my weapon, and try to talk him down. Listen, this only ends poorly. Nothing good comes out of this. If you want any chance at a better resolution, you stop what you're doing. It doesn't have to end like this.
Give me a manipulation roll, please.
Oogie. We will push the D8. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, it just auto-rolled.
That's cool.
You see there's a moment where he seems to consider this, and then he continues to do what he's about to do.
Cool.
Shit.
Violet and Hector, unfortunately, you guys are like finishing up your base test. You're like in another part of the tower right now, so you have no idea that this is going down, unfortunately. So we're back to Silas at the top of the turn. I guess we could have some more exciting music to finish this up.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah. All right. How about this? The Kill Crew.
Oh boy.
That sounds good.
There you go. I would like to probably try to shoot him.
Okay. I don't believe standing up is an action. It's just if you stand up while you're engaged with somebody, they get a close combat attack on you. So he's not engaged. So yeah, you can stand and shoot.
Okay. Let's do this.
This is a banger.
Yeah. I can get behind it.
Oh, I figured. Okay. It's in range. Straight up. Okay. Here we go.
That is a hit, and that is also a critical. However, I don't see your roll actually in the list. I don't know where the fuck your roll went.
It looks like, yeah, it's grouping them by character instead of most current. So
Yeah,
his
it's
is
up
right
there.
above all of mine.
Oh, you didn't roll the weapon, that's why. You just did firearms.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter, but when you roll the weapon, if you score a critical, there's a little thing that'll show up and it'll say critical. And another thing I learned that we did wrong, I don't know if we did it wrong, but if you roll a critical and have extra successes, not only do the extra successes do extra damage, but every extra success also lets you roll an extra critical dice and you pick the best result you want. But in this case, you only have one critical because you had 2 successes. You need 2 to get a critical. So you hit him. What's the base damage of your weapon?
Where does it say that?
2, it looks like. We go to
Two, the
combat.
little
We got the
explosion thing.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
because
so
it
I
has
guess
the
2.
explosion and then the bullseye.
Bullseye's probably the bonus it gives you. Like an alien. So it's 2 damage?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Alright, and then 1 extra because you had 2 successes. So it's 3 damage. And then please roll me a critical from the rollable tables, please. This will be piercing damage. Can you get another headshot?
Ooh, I wish. Wait, how do... Oh, here we go. Draw result.
Oh, it's way up there.
Sean,
Ear torn off. Okay.
yes, are you in another time zone?
Am I in another time zone? I'm in.
Physically, or your system clock. What is
Uh,
it?
Mine says 12:15 a.m. right now.
Same.
Okay. Dang, that was my best guess. It says all of your chat stuff is in the future, which is why it goes down.
Oh.
Whoa. Are you a Terminator?
I will just set my date and time to automatic. But it's then, for some reason, it's saying 2 hours ago and 10:16.
Okay. Well, you score 2 damage. You almost get a headshot. You went for the kill shot, but instead you blow his ear clean off his head, and he takes 3 points of damage. Ouch.
Total 6 damage? Or does the critical not do extra damage?
No, they don't do extra damage, but he now
Oh.
has disadvantage to observation rolls. So there's that. He decides to... He just runs up to the door and basically just rips it open. It was locked. It's not locked anymore. He rips the door open and goes running down the hall. Garrick, your turn.
I will pursue and try to take a shot.
Okay. You
Is there
see...
anyone in the hall?
Oh, yeah. He decks someone. You see, like, a clerk gets knocked, like, out of the frame. Papers go flying everywhere.
So if I take a shot, someone else might get hit.
If you roll any origamis, yes. Or if you don't aim.
But aiming takes an action.
Yeah, well, you get advantage next round. It's pretty cool.
Let's see. I feel like there was a rule where we could swap initiatives.
You can swap initiative with someone who has not gone yet this round.
Okay. So if I aim, can I then swap with Silas at the top of the round to go?
No, because you're the last person in the round. There's no one to swap with. You
would have to be in my position.
have to swap with someone who hasn't gone. And if you do anything other than take a shot on your next action, you lose the aim.
So if I aim and then Silas swaps with me on his turn.
Yes! Yes! Now you're cooking with gas.
Okay. Are you
Oh, I
cool
can
with
do
that,
that.
Kyle?
Then I'll do that. Yes, fuck yes, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I will take aim.
Okay.
And somehow Silas will give me his magic ability.
Like, time slows down, like everyone's favorite German sniper from Axis and Allies. You take that deep breath, and it's your turn.
Cool. And so I just click the gun.
Yes.
Click the gun. Oh, I have different ammos. Caseless. I assume it's the caseless?
Caseless is the lethal. Sonic is stun damage, and then the other one is to have increased range.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You have the
I
blaster,
don't want
right?
this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want this guy alive, so I guess I'll go Sonic. And then, he's not out of range. He's not a small target. He's not behind cover.
Nope. And you get advantage because you are aiming.
Advantage. Nice.
Oh, it's almost 3.
Yeah. Oh, where's my... I don't even see my dice roll.
Yeah, I don't know. What is going on with this fucking
Oh,
game?
I think you were right. I think you were right.
But all the other ones that are down are now ahead of that roll.
Yeah, okay. I will push my D10, I think. I don't think that did anything.
No. Of all the dice, the 6 is the one that came through. Good old D6. Okay. Well, he takes a point of damage, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
It says base damage 1. Okay, does it do anything else? Does he have to make like a stamina test or anything?
Doesn't say. It just says crushing, crit D6, damage 1.
Oh, maybe it's because it does less of a crit? Oh, wait, no. Nope, nope, that's something else. Sorry, I got a lot of shit opened up on my screen right now, so... Okay, well... Let me check one thing here on ye old edit item features. Yeah, it has a lower crit dice. I guess that's all. That's the only difference, I guess. Weird.
Maybe the higher crits are more dangerous, I guess.
Well, they are, yeah, that's for sure. So maybe it can't actually kill somebody then. But anyway, he stumbles. I'll tell you what, we'll make him take a stamina test, because it makes sense. If we're wrong, we'll fix it next time. We'll fix it in post.
Well, you got shot a couple times.
All right. He actually stumbles, loses his footing. Falls to the ground. Silas, you're up.
Okay, so I'm at the end of the turn.
No, you just you swap with whoever you swapped with. So you're next.
Correct. But okay.
Because he had a 4.
Does that continue to the next turn?
This is the new order now.
Okay.
Just like an alien.
Okay. Well, he will run outside after all them, see that he's on the ground, and shoot.
Okay. Since he is prone, I believe... Oh, no, that's only for close combat. You'd get it. I'll give you advantage, because... I mean, he's on the ground. You're not that far away. Makes sense. He's not taking cover. He's just in an open hallway. Obviously, people are getting out of the way when they hear the shots go off.
That's true. Alright, so click blaster. Come on, buddy.
Are you going lethal?
Yes.
Damn.
Is that letting me hit it?
Are you clicking on the icon? Like the actual picture?
Yeah, just left click on the picture of the weapon.
Yeah, I am.
Are you on your combat tab?
Yeah. Ah, there we go. Okay. It just popped up. So, caseless, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to do lethal caseless, Sonic would be non-lethal.
Okay. Nope, we're doing lethal.
God damn.
Oh boy. So that is... Okay, so if you look now, if you scroll up a bit, you see it says crit 2d12. So it's actually on there. You can actually click that. Unfortunately, I can't get this to work for some reason. If you click on it, it's going to bring up a menu with a drop-down menu. But the drop-down menu is grayed out for you guys for some reason. I don't know why. And... Oh, now this is all weird.
Oop.
All the rolls just deleted. You guys see that?
Yeah, I was deleting my
I just saw
rolls.
that.
Oh,
I
thank
was
you.
Deleting
Okay.
all the future rolls so we can just have the current ones.
So is it working now?
Alright, so...
Okay.
It seems like it, yeah.
So unfortunately,
You want me to click this?
I can't get the crit thing to work for some reason with this. So you're going to have to go and roll it yourself from the roll tables. But you get to roll 2 and pick the one you want because you had extra successes. And you're doing a total of 4 damage, yeah. This guy's getting
So...
dumpstered.
This is the first one.
Cracked skull. Okay, that can't be good.
Or...
Pierced heart.
Instant death.
Survey says... yeah, we'll go with the pierced heart.
Okay. You let off a few shots. Blam, blam. and you just strike him right in the back, and he's like trying to get up. You know, he's like kind of like on his hands and knees, like pushing himself up, and you shoot him, and he just and just falls straight forward, dead. And that.
Garrick can be like, you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Just drop him to 0 health. And that is where we will have to call it for tonight, as you have brutally murdered an unarmed man in the back in front of all your fellow co-workers.
Did we need to question him? I kind of feel like we should have done non-lethal, but that's live.
Oh my god. Well, that's a way to start an investigation, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Told you, Chris, we're doing things
started
way
it.
differently this
I mean,
time. Right?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should start guns out.
Yep.
You thought that was all talk.
Yeah, I am
Here
not
we
playing.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to much of the adventure tonight, guys, but I think we got some very important stuff done. And as always, we want to focus on our characters here and kind of get in their minds. So, listeners, viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back same time next week, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. The week after is Gen Con, so we won't be broadcasting then, but we'll be back after that and finish this up sometime in August. Probably looking at about 4 to 5 sessions, I would imagine. Should be about the same length as the last case. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Very excited. And thank you all so much for stopping by. So, as always, same time, same place, nighty night.